This is Salle College High School football on Bob Long Sports, presented by Dunphy Ford. Flexibility still with the timeout. Playbook completely open. 29.3 seconds to go. Handoff to Cy Madden. Has room to the outside. Cuts inside. Another touchdown for Cy Madden. Out to the 25-yard line. Ball is loose. LaSalle has it. Brennan Daly. Brennan Daly to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, LaSalle. And good evening. Welcome into Crawford Stadium, home of the North Penn Knights, for this Salle College High School football game. And Rob Stott is here alongside me, Bob Long. It is a brand new season of high school sports, a brand new era of BLS. And we are live on HD video. We hope that everybody is enjoying the early stages of our broadcast. And, of course, we have better football to come. Rob, welcome back once again. It's good to have you back for a second year.
Thanks for having me, Bob. Sorry I didn't bring my makeup kit. I didn't realize we were going to have HD cameras on us this time this year, so I'll remember for next time.
Like your LaSalle teachers always used to tell you, sit up straight and pay attention. We got a great game here tonight. Two of the top teams in Southeastern Pennsylvania. LaSalle ranked by the Inquirer as the second team in this region, and North Penn the fifth overall team per those rankings. But, Rob, it's been a lot of turnover for North Penn. They have a new quarterback, the heir to Reese Udinsky. His name is Steve DePaul. He comes from Norristown, transferred in this year, and he's going to be a big threat for them. He's going to be thrown to a guy named Owen Thomas, a big tight end, and a Villanova recruit, Rob.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game. 2 years in a row seeing LaSalle come up here to North Penn, and it's always, you think of some colleges that like to start off with, those cakewalk schedules. This isn't a cakewalk in Southeastern PA, so it's always a good contest between LaSalle and North Penn, and always a great way to kick off the season.
And, Rob, you said the second year. It's our second year here at North Penn to kick off the season. Not for LaSalle. This is the 8th time they're going about this. And up until last year, LaSalle was victorious in every one of those games. Now, it's been well documented. A bit of a down year for LaSalle. Last year, Isaiah Jones, the starting quarterback for this team, a guy getting looks by Towson, Army, Villanova, and more. He tore his ACL going into that year, so missed the entire year. And Tom Lamort stepped in very admirably and really developed himself into a nice quarterback by the end of the year. But, a few early tests were too much for a guy that 2 weeks before the season didn't know he was going to be the starter. They rebounded to a 6-5 record, but it was a loss here that started things, Rob. And a very impressive performance by the Knights, by Ricky Johns at wide receiver, and by Reese Udinsky at quarterback. So we start to look at this new LaSalle team. Isaiah Jones is a dual-threat quarterback from behind center. Manny Quills is very, very good out of the backfield. He replaces Cy Madden, who was a 1,000-yard rusher. But, Rob, Manny Quills had a couple coming-out parties. One that sticks out to me, a game against Archbishop Carroll, 4 touchdowns en route to a win.
Yeah, and that was a game, we saw Cy Madden. I don't remember if he had been banged up in that game or had fumbled a couple times and got yanked, but they put Quills in there. And, that was one of the big concerns I had coming into this year is what are they going to do replacing a guy like Cy Madden. But Quills is a guy that, we saw him a couple times last year, able to step up, able to fill the role in the backfield, and pairing him with a guy like Isaiah Jones, this is going to be a fun offense to watch this year.
And, of course, they have some talent coming back at the wide receiver position. Brett Malley and Troy Holland, arguably the 1-2 last year. They're back. And then there's a newcomer standing at 6'3". And of professional lineage, Marvin Harrison Jr. He'll wear number 11 today, and he's already the tallest receiver that they have. And, in games that we've seen in terms of exhibition and practice, they like to throw the ball up to this kid, and they love his hands.
I got to love size at the wide receiver position. I wish I had a little bit of it, but, we'll make do with what we got, and we'll watch a guy that has a very recognizable name and see what he can do for this offense.
Now, maybe the biggest thing for this LaSalle team, Rob, is, and every football team is in the trenches, and they bring back every major starter from last year. Essentially, they replace and they rekindle with some new talent as well. Danny Kuznetsov will be right back on the defensive line and probably on the offensive line as well. On the offensive and defensive line, you're going to see Chris Maloney and Garrett Zobel. Zobel, a guy getting a lot of looks, as well as Maloney, who is really quick off that line. Zobel, a lot more power, but both of them, they're both strong and they're both quick. If we're going to marginalize or put this into relative terms, Zobel brings a lot of power at about 280 pounds.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things you like to see on any offensive or defensive line is consistency. It's tough to have at the high school level because guys, they get older, they graduate. You can't keep them here just like college. So it's kind of a unique thing for LaSalle to be able to bring back every major starter and keep that consistent year to year, so that if there's any advantage they have over teams that they play this year, it's the fact that these guys know each other and they'll be going on 2 years together playing consistently.
Bob Long, Rob Stott here. We have just a few minutes until kickoff. LaSalle was introduced, and now North Penn about to come onto the field. Now, Rob, this is a LaSalle team, and these coaches are very excited. They've reveled in the speed that they have and talked about all the great athletes that they think they bring, not just from a top-of-the-lineup perspective, but a depth perspective as well. And, it's a big part of the reason the Inquirer put out their top 10 teams in Southeastern PA, and there was only one team in that top 10 that had more than 3 losses last year. That was LaSalle, and I gave it away. They had 5 losses, 6-5, and of course this North Penn team, just the 2. So a North Penn team that has a lot of talent, but they've graduated some guys, but they replenished in the form of transfers, and of course we talk about Owen Daniels. Justice Henley, another strong returning starter, as well as John Haynes, who will play wide receiver. KJ Cartwright and Khan Jamal will be out of the backfield. Jamal, another transfer. So they replace, they replenish, and they cultivate the talent that they had last year, a team that was in the semifinals of the 6A and lost to St. Joseph's Prep. Yeah. So we'll now turn your attention to the field here as we get ready for the first game of the season, and North Penn about to run through the tape here at Crawford Stadium.
Taking a fun little route to that tape.
Yes, they are. You see it on the right-hand side of your screen here.
Coming off a 6-5 finish in 2016, and the Knights of the Suburban One Continental Conference are coming off a 14-1 finish last season and are the defending 6A District 1 champions. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2017 North Penn Knights.
And there they are. The North Penn Knights come onto the field, Rob, and a strong team this year. We talked about it, dressed now in their light blue helmets with the dark blue shirts and pants, and LaSalle on the other side of the field. In the gold helmets, the white tops, and the gold pants. Good looks from both of these teams here from North Penn High School. Now the captains being called to the field. LaSalle with 6 of them, and North Penn with 3. Owen Thomas coming out to the field. He's the big guy in the middle, number 3, the tight end going to Villanova next year. Number 55, Matt Bevan, a senior offensive and defensive lineman. We'll see him on both sides at 5'11" and 230. Finally, number 5, Justice Henley. He's been a guy that has been a huge part of this North Penn team for a long time, and he will be featured in a big way here tonight. You see Isaiah Jones on the left-hand side of your screen for LaSalle. He is your starting quarterback if you're an Explorer fan. And you see that coin toss in the air. North Penn has won the toss and elected to defer. North Penn, out of the eastern side of the state, the team that lost to St. Joseph's Prep, the last en route to a convincing PIAA state title championship at the 6A level, but an admirable season from this team out of the Continental Conference of Suburban 1.
Yeah, you talk about a St. Joe's team real quick. They looked like a mini college team last year the way they were playing, just running over everyone.
Of course, Rob, LaSalle will likely see them again. Of course, they'll see them for certain in the regular season, but possibly in the playoffs as well. Now we'll rise for the playing of the national anthem. We'll keep it here turn up our microphones so that you may all hear.
Please join us this evening in a solemn remembrance of a North Penn High School student. On Thursday, August 17th, North Penn High School junior Dev Joshi passed away due to a tragic accident while volunteering his time at a temple in New Jersey. Dev was a contributing member of the North Penn High School student body and a member of the boys volleyball team. At this time, we ask that you join us in a moment of silence to honor the memory of Dev. Thank you. And now, please remain standing and direct your attention to the flag in the north end zone as the North Penn Marching Knights, under the direction of Mr. Ted Heller, lead us in honoring the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem.
And believe it or not, it is time for football at last in late August here at a beautiful Crawford Stadium on a beautiful evening. Nearly a full house here for two of the area's best, LaSalle against North Penn. Bob Long, Rob Stott alongside Mara Jones on the camera crew. That is our team for the year. And, of course, we want to give our best thoughts to Jason Bempa, who was a little under the weather today. He is the class of 2018 at LaSalle College High School. He will be joining us for future games, but, again, feeling a little under the weather. Jason Bempa, he'll be a big member of our team this year, and a name you'll want to get to know. LaSalle will kick off. John Haynes back deep, as is K.J. Cartwright, number 37. Haynes, the deep man. Daniel Karish for LaSalle, set to kick off.
Here we go, Bob.
We're underway, Rob.
It's another year. Year 3 for us.
Great to be back with you, my friend.
Let's make it a good one.
Line drive kick for Karish. Chases back Haynes into his own end zone, and an automatic touchback here at the high school level. And so now here's the first look, Rob, at Steve DePaul and the boys from North Penn, the transfer from Norristown, set to lead his team.
I'm looking for a strong start from this defense. You know, the secondary last year got a little beat up at times. They let some deep pass plays leak through. That was a common theme that we saw throughout the year. So I know we had a couple transfers in our secondary that we'll talk about throughout the night, but let's see how they hold up on this first drive of the year.
The front line for the Explorers, it's Kuznetsov, Maloney, Zobel, and Ronnie Ross, the transfer from Penn Charter. You see 3 to the left-hand side. The inside handoff, they give it to Khan Jamal. First look for him. Breaks a tackle and gets up close to the first down marker. Call it a gain of 8.
Coming out looking in a heavy pass-looking formation there. LaSalle wasn't quite ready for that run to the outside, but got to do a better job containing.
LaSalle comes out in the 4-3 defense, 4 defensive linemen. And then 3 roving linebackers. The high snap, able to get it off, but drilled in the backfield. Austin Lemke, the middle linebacker, got in there and made the play.
And that's good penetration up front. Perhaps, we talked about it at the top, but, a line that comes back almost intact, a little experience up front. So nice to see them get through and hold them here. And got a 3rd and short coming up. Let's see if they can hold it. Big play here early in this game.
3rd down and 1. Once again, it's Khan Jamal to the right of Steve DePaul. 2 receivers to the near side. LaSalle feigns the blitz. And now a timeout burned by head coach Dick Beck.
Saw that one coming. Pressure was clearly coming up the middle. North Penn didn't look like what they saw in front of them. Calling a quick timeout here early on.
Rob, we're going to play one of our favorite games again here tonight, and I think you know what it's called. It's Where You At. Where You At is for all our LaSalle as well as North Penn as well as general high school football fans. Tweet us at Bob Long Sports with where you're watching from. It can be down the street. It could be across the country. We want to know, and thanks to everybody for joining us here this evening. And certainly want to give a special shout-out to my namesake, the other Bob Long. My grandfather, I was just down in Tampa, Florida, and I know he's watching from Bradenton, Florida right now, going through a little bit of a tough time. I love you, Grandpa. Thanks for watching, and thanks for everything you've ever done. We want to hear from all of you as well. Where are you watching from? And we will give you a shout-out on the air.
On video for the first time ever.
Now a tight end comes in motion. Here's the handoff on the I formation. They get just enough and slithers through for another 2 or 3. First down for Khan Jamal.
It's a nice job by Jamal finding a hole off to the left, being able to square him through and fall forward basically for a gain of 3 or 4 there for the first down. Could have let the announcer do the job for me there.
The fans, too. They get involved. You got to love that.
This is a great football area up here in North Penn, so it's always nice to come up here and call these games amongst their fans.
0-0 the score, 10-11 to play, first quarter. Now pulling it is Steve DePaul. He's got room to the 50, down to the 45, and wrestled out of bounds. Into LaSalle territory, being marked at the 43-yard line and a first down.
Little misdirection there by North Penn, and LaSalle was all sorts of out of shape there. Got fooled by everything. There was looked like a fake screen out to the right, a fake handoff underneath, and North Penn just able to scoot out and pick up a big chunk of yards there. Nice first play for them.
Now you see them sort of lulling LaSalle to sleep. Even in the first few plays, the zone read and a great pull there from DePaul. Now the I formation, handing it off to the fullback. The big boy goes rumbling for a yard or 2. Gets down to approximately the 41-yard line. Second down. You see big number 4, Anthony Andrews, on that carry. 210, Rob, at 5'11", with that downhill running. That's a tough task for anybody.
Yeah, you talk about a high school wrestler. All you want is leverage. When you're that short and you got that much weight behind you and it's all power, oh, man, it's tough to bring down. Especially when you put pads and a helmet on them.
You see Owen Pagini on the near side of your screen, number 26, a transfer from Penn Charter. Guards the wide receiver on the outside. This handed off inside to Khan Jamal, and he is met at the line and dropped there.
Lemke got great pressure there up front, able to knock Jamal off balance, and then the rest of the line just coming up to help him clean up that tackle.
Yep, I had Devin Smith, number 10, on the eventual tackle, but like you mentioned, it's about knifing through Lemke, and now sets up a 3rd and long. They need the 33-yard line for a first down.
Haven't seen a pass yet from North Penn. Be interesting to see if that's the route they go here. I'd imagine.
LaSalle once again in the 4-3. Here's the shotgun snap. Looking downfield, throws it high, and just over the outstretched arms of John Haynes. 4th down.
Little off target there by Henley, but LaSalle actually, they had good coverage. It was didn't have much to look at downfield, so he had to kind of force it out there. And now we got a 4th down. And it looks like North Penn was kind of debating what they wanted to do there, but.
Well, Rob, it's in that territory,
Yep.
especially early on here. You think maybe send a message, maybe try to go for it, but I think the yardage there was the decision maker.
Yep.
So now back deep to return for LaSalle. Brett Malley as well as Troy Holland, likely to be the 1-2 in terms of wide receiver this year in whatever order you'd like to put them. KJ Cartwright, the near gunner for North Penn. LaSalle doesn't really attack it. Now a nice high punt end over end. Both calling for it. It'll be Holland just inside the 10-yard line.
Whew, that was a close. You saw them both wave it off. That could have been bad.
It's just team bonding early on here, Rob, figuring out that chemistry. 8:25 to play here in the first quarter. LaSalle able to stop North Penn after a couple of first downs on their first drive. And now for the first time this year, the LaSalle Explorers offense onto the field, led by Isaiah Jones. 2 years ago, Rob, he played behind Chris Ferguson, was a change-up look type of quarterback. Last year was supposed to be his team. Well documented, the ACL tear, now back full strength and ready to go. His first snap from the shotgun.
Feels like it's been a long time coming, but now we got him out there and see what he can do.
Jones pulls the first one, Burnham with a block, and Isaiah Jones out past the 20-yard line, a 13-yard run for a first down.
And I love that call. That was clearly, a move to get Jones running early. His first real snap under center in more than a year, and you're going to put the ball in his hands and let him go to work.
Coach has talked about spreading the ball out, and I think it'll be interesting to see how LaSalle does that. And Isaiah Jones, first time playing in live game action for 2 years. Whether he can go through those progressions. This is a handoff to Octavius Carter. Carter strung out well by the North Penn defense and taken down by number 12, Nick Intrieri.
And to go back to that first run real quick, the reason I like it so much is that, it shows the coaches have a lot of confidence, not just in Jones himself as a player, but in that knee and that it's healthy and that they're willing to get him on the move and out running with the ball in his hands. So not a lot to really make you think that they're going to hold him back here.
Now they split out 2 receivers to the near side. It's Holland and Manny Quills in the slot. Here's the snap, and he'll take off again, breaks one tackle, and runs through another. He got about 5 yards after all that, Rob. A pretty nice run after I think North Penn did a great job to sniff that out and make the initial contact 1 yard past the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, strong run by Isaiah to get out there, break a tackle, show that he's not afraid to truck stick some guys out there and run them over and pick up whatever yards he needs to or can.
6:44 to play first quarter, still scoreless, and LaSalle's first drive of the season. Liam Traynor now in the slot. Brett Malley out wide to the near side. Troy Holland on the far side. And now a timeout for LaSalle as the play clock rolled down.
Your LaSalle starting offense tonight at center, number 64, Brennan O'Brien. At guard, number 72, Chris Maloney, and number 77, Garrett Zobel.
You hear over the loudspeaker right now Garrett Zobel and Chris Maloney being introduced on the line of scrimmage, as well as O'Brien, and you saw Hirschman as well, but specifically Maloney and Zobel, 2 of the guys that maybe have the most upside on this LaSalle team from a recruiting perspective, from a next-level perspective. Both those guys are going to play on the offense and defensive line all season long. In the scrimmage against Downingtown, we really didn't see Maloney and Zobel on the defensive line, and I got a little bit of word about that, and it's pretty logical when you think about it, Rob. These guys, it's pretty much pin your ears back and get after the quarterback on defense. But guys that played more so on the defensive line last year, important to get them up to speed on blocking schemes, on when to pull, on how to get in the same zone with this offense. Now Isaiah Jones will pull this time. Can he get past? No, he cannot. Strung out extremely well, and 3 Knights in on the play. Khan Jamal was the one that ended up bringing him down. 4th down on LaSalle's first possession.
North Penn did a nice job sniffing that one out. Convention says they're, probably a pass. Not sure if the coaches, wanted to stick to the run early on here, but North Penn, like I said, did a nice job sniffing out and forcing the punt here.
John Haynes and Justice Henley deep, standing with their heels on the 42-yard line. Daniel Karish set the punt.
Low snap.
Able to get it off. That's a pretty good kick after mishandling the snap. And he did not call for the fair catch, so about a yard or two after the initial catch from Henley and up to the 49-yard line of North Penn. Well, they'll start their second drive of the game.
An early field position battle going on here, and a little bit in the favor of North Penn there after they were able to drive a little bit further down the field than LaSalle. So we'll see if the defense on a somewhat shortened field can step it up and hold North Penn here.
Rob, we have the opportunity to talk to Andrew Robinson, who does great work in this area covering high school sports and a good friend of BLS here. And he was saying that, listen, we know that they can run the ball, Con Jamal, and, of course, Steve DePaul out of the backfield, but he said do not be surprised that they can throw the ball all around the yard. So the first drive was a lot of rushing. Now they're going to go for it. A good scramble there. This is Justice Henley, number 5, not DePaul out of the backfield. He's going to take off and get about 6 or 7 yards.
He was dead to rights in the backfield, but a nice move to get outside of the pocket and scramble. Had a couple of explorers chase him down, but able to pick up a good chunk of yards.
Gain of 7 yards on the play. Second down and 3 for the Knights from the LaSalle 44.
Henley stays out there as the quarterback. And here's the reason why. Steve DePaul looks a little shaken up on the sideline. Standing at about the 42-yard line, trying to stretch it out. Doesn't look too bad, but that's the reason we see Henley out on the field right now. Still has his helmet on. That was nearly a botched handoff. Con Jamal, a nice job to really grasp it from in between his thighs area, and that could have been a fumble, Rob, very easily. A great job just to maintain possession and then get 2 or 3 yards.
Gain of 1.
Yeah, you're thinking new quarterback in there, subbing for a little bit here. Well, we got what looks like an injury, kind of interesting they came out pass right away, or thinking pass, and then you see the result of not being the every down QB, your regular starting QB, and a little almost botched handoff there, so lucky to be able to hold on to it.
Now, Darsbowski is in there right now, number 7. He looks to be leading this huddle. But it will be Henley under center. Henley takes the snap, but I don't know if that's false start. Maybe. Came from the umpire, so it might have been a delay of game, Rob. It was a false start. You're exactly right.
Didn't catch the number, but it looked like it was on the near side of the field here.
Fair enough. I was going by the position of the referee that threw the flag and not the positioning of the offensive line, as I should say.
I'm not going to claim to have the best eyes in the world, but I thought I saw a little shake or shimmy on the offensive line.
Nah, you should claim that. Claim the best eyes in the world. What's the worst thing that can happen? 3rd down and 7 from the 48-yard line. They need just shy of the LaSalle 40. Henley throws it over the top. Big Owen Thomas can't bring it down. Owen Thomas, the Villanova commit, wants that one back because while that pass is high, that's a 6'3" frame that got both hands on the ball, Rob. Went
right through. Yeah, I mean, he had the, you talk about perfect catching position. He had the hands in a diamond. The ball just sailed right through it. But, also nice job by Devin Smith to be able to, he got a big hit on him at the end there. Not that he broke up the pass or anything, but just able to get a body on him, would have held him right there if the catch was made. So good coverage.
Malley and Holland with their heels on the 15-yard line. Barely got it off, and it wasn't a good one. This one falling at the 31-yard line takes a North Penn bounce inside the 25, and it'll be picked up there by number 12, Nick Intrieri. So LaSalle will start. 4:05 to play, first quarter scoreless here from Crawford Stadium.
I'd like to see Jones and the offense kept it on the ground that first drive. I know it's early in the game, but would love to see them come out here and take a shot early on. Let Jones air it out, see what that arm's capable of.
So now back to the same read option formation. They hand it off to Quills. Good cut and gets through the middle. Nice run for Quills, about 6 or 7 yards up just shy of the 30-yard line.
Good shake and shimmy. Offensive line opened a hole for Quills, and he was able to find it, follow his blocks upfield, and pick up a good 5 yards there on first down.
Yep, so they gave him 5, second down and 5, now an empty backfield for the first time this season for Jones. Could present an opportunity to draw. Throws it over the middle, might have been dropped, and there comes the call. Was looking for Brett Malley.
And little short on the throw. As the first pass, you got a little jitters there getting ready to throw. Just cut it short, held onto it a little bit too long.
Clock stopped at 3 minutes and 23 seconds to play in the first quarter. LaSalle at their own 28-yard line. They need the 33 for a first down. Joey Burnham alongside Isaiah Jones in the backfield. Jones floats it outside, kind of a hanger. Got to go hard, and they do, running through the tackle and past the first down marker to the 35-yard line. Manny Quills, thought to be maybe a little guy. He shows his brawn going through the defensive back of North Penn to get the first down.
A little Darren Sproles action there, just lowering the shoulder, trucking those legs and running right through the tackle to pick up that first down. That was a strong run by Quills.
5'8", 185, which again, that's well built for 5'8" at 185 pounds. Now they're going to measure this.
I'm going to have to look it up, but I think he might be taller than Sproles.
Is that right?
I think the size is there.
For those of you just with us here today, don't be fooled by what I think is great video production and a good video quality with our camera woman, Mara Jones, on the task. But don't be fooled by that. We are low budget. Rob Stott is our color commentator, our statistician, and our social media coordinator. And LaSalle credited with the first down after the good run from Manny Quills.
So Quills has, you said 5'8", right?
5'8".
He's got 2 inches on Sproles, who's 5'6".
There you go.
And Sproles clocks in at a soaking wet 190.
I see.
So a little bit taller than Sproles, but roughly the same size, maybe a pound or two lighter. So, yeah, we're talking a Sproles-type character, and he showed it there.
And he shows it here as he lines up in the slot on the near side. 3 receivers on this near side of the field. Isaiah Jones takes off to the far side, stays in bounds, and tiptoes along the sideline.
That was an athletic-looking run. He looked like he was about to trip up, put a hand down on the field, able to stay up, keep going, and pick up another first down for LaSalle.
Another 10-plus yard run. They give him 13 on the run. Now LaSalle starting to move quickly, and they draw offside the North Penn Knights. Joey Slover, number 44, came offside.
And I love that move early in the season. You start going up tempo, keep your defense on their heels, and you can create mistakes like that.
First down and 5, 3:09 to play first quarter, still scoreless. Isaiah Jones now looks to the sideline. There's nobody on Brett Malley in the center of the field. Instead, they go to Isaiah Jones, bouncing it outside, has a lot of room, follows the block of Troy Holland, and there comes the flag. Rob, you were right for a while. It was a good block until that grab at the very end.
Just held on to him a little too long. Once Jones got by you, should have just let him go.
This will take them back to about the line of scrimmage that they had on first down. Did not need it, Rob.
Nah. Jones has the speed that he was going to blow by you anyway, but...
And he was already a good 5 yards clear of the first down marker. So they're going to move the first down yard marker about a half a yard up. That hold came 10.5 yards down the field. North Penn also out in the 4-3. 3 linebackers.
Got 9 guys, almost 8 guys in the box.
Now Jones throws it deep. He was hit as he threw.
Lucky
Never
to get that
had a
one out.
chance.
Had a lot of, you called it before the snap. 8 guys in the box. They were clearly bringing it. Line just wasn't able to hold up enough to let Jones get that ball out, but lucky he did. And lucky it went right down into the ground instead of floating up there. Reese Hoskins, by the way, Bob, you're showing me your phone over here. He's keeping it going for the Phillies, man. We got someone.
Another home run.
We got someone. 2-run home run tonight.
And that's not long into that game. It's 7:30. That's his first at-bat. Octavius Carter on the jet sweep. Cuts right upfield. A great cut. Should be enough for a first down as he rolls past the 45-yard line. Rob, that's one of those picture-perfect runs on the jet sweep there. Identify the point of leverage against the defense, plant that right foot, and cut hard upfield. Beautiful job from Octavius Carter. We tick under 2 minutes and 40 seconds to play here in the first. Here's Jones. Play action, throws it deep, over the top, and a little too far for Brett Malley.
Nice to see him merit out there. He was able to. He overshot Malley, but glad he got it out before anything worse happened. And Bob, we got our first couple tweets in. I don't know if you want to hold off on the where are you watching? But we could easily get a couple shout-outs out there, a couple fun ones. Obviously, Mrs. Long tweeting in that Grandpa is watching from Florida.
And we appreciate that. And thanks again to our Bradenton team, the folks we're thinking about in a big way here tonight. Here's the inside handoff. Again running through a tackle, Manny Quills. Boy, he looks like Joey Burnham out there. I thought we'd see, and we will see that from Joey Burnham, but Manny Quills doing a yeoman's work back there.
Turning into a bruiser and shaking the shoulders because he knows what he's doing. So we also got Nancy DeJohnny. Sorry if I mispronounced. Watching from Clarkston, Michigan. The Zobel's grandparents.
Very nice. We got a nice message from them earlier this week, and I know that they've been big fans of ours for the last 2 years. So thanks for your support and everybody's support out there that has allowed us to make the move from audio to video, and hope that you are enjoying it. Here's the 3rd down and 5. Jones rolls, comes back the other way, and underthrows Joey Burnham. Good play design there, Rob, but here's what I'm seeing early from Jones. A little bit unsure of his footing. That time throwing off his back foot as he jumped. And that just comes with time and seeing real live snaps. Plant the foot, and even when it's a lob like that, you can still put a little bit on it.
Yeah, back foot and also across the body, across the field. And, lucky that the ball got down when it did. Easily could have been picked off there, a guy coming up underneath, but incomplete, and we're punting away.
Karish, the punt. Good hanger. They're going to let it fly deep, and it goes halfway into the end zone for a touchback. 1 minute, 35 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Still scoreless between the number 2 LaSalle Explorers and the number 5 North Penn Knights here in Southeastern PA, per the Philadelphia Inquirer Top 10.
One more, where are they, to call out. And this one's pretty, I don't know, we got an international listener, Bob.
All right. Hopefully listeners, but who is our friend here?
Dave Doherty calling in, or well, not calling in, I should say clocking in, watching us all the way from Ireland. His nephew's on the team, number 29, Connor. So we got a nice thumbs up emoji from Dave. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Dave Doherty, and good luck to Connor this year. Now here's the sweep. Breaking one tackle, KJ Cartwright, and that allows him to get up just by the 24-yard line. A good 5-yard run.
Oh, and we got to call this one out. Daniel Madden, our boy from last year, checking in from Florida State University. Thanks for listening, Dan.
Thank you for listening. Oh, now watching, Rob.
Yep.
You're watching now. Sorry to Dan that we couldn't get his mean mug on with ours last year, but onward and upward here on BLS, and thanks to everybody for the support. Again, where you at for those of you that joined a little late? Give us a tweet at Bob Long Sports on Twitter, at Bob Long Sports. Tell us where you're listening from, and we'll give you a shout-out on the air. Where you at?
Have some safe fun down there, Dan. You Seminole.
Would it be inappropriate, as we have a timeout here for North Penn with 46.8 to play, would it be inappropriate to say to Dan Madden right now, Roll Tide? I know the entire Tallahassee community getting ready for that big one. The president came out, Rob, and said, I don't want to talk trash, but I think we're going to beat them by a lot.
But I'm going to talk trash.
Very good. Yeah, that doesn't qualify. A live look into the LaSalle huddle right now. The defense trying to find a way to stop this North Penn team. They've had a lot of success so far. And unfortunately for North Penn, we have not seen Steve DePaul, and DePaul, he's back out on the field now. We didn't see him for the entire last drive that they moved through, but it is good to see the 5'11 junior quarterback onto the field for the North Penn Knights. And it's Cartwright to DePaul's right in the backfield. 2nd and 5. They need just shy of the 30 for a first down. Now DePaul runs out of room, held on to the football. He was hit hard by Colin Hirschman. Pounded right in the right elbow and bicep area. Only one hand on the ball, Rob. I'm very impressed that DePaul held on to that one.
Lucky to have basically fallen on it. I mean, he held on to it with one hand, tucked it under him as he went down, but that looked, oh, God, those two guys coming at you, I do not want that. That looked painful.
Colin Hirschman, the big boy, he's 240 pounds, Rob, which is, certainly like Chris Maloney, for example. He kind of lines up there, but at 6'6".
And when you're only 180?
Well, he's two.
No, I'm talking DePaul.
Oh, I see. Now here's a screenplay on 3rd and long. Need a tackle for LaSalle. They get it just shy. Just in time, and a big-time stop there from Stephen Matchett. Khan Jamal was the recipient of the pass.
Nice job coming up from behind and catching up to this guy and making that tackle, forcing a 4th down here. And all of a sudden the tides have kind of turned in the field position game.
And that's the end of the first quarter. After 12 minutes of play, we have no score. This is Bob Long sports coverage of LaSalle College High School football. You heard us talk about Dunphy Ford at the outset and our beautiful intro that was produced by LaSalle sports contributor and longtime friend of the show here, Chris Sanders. So thanks to him for doing that, and thanks to our sponsor, Dunphy Ford.
Bob Long from Bob Long Sports here, and I want to urge all our listeners to visit our friends at Dunphy Ford in the Northeast.
Dunphy Ford has all the latest Ford models, trucks, SUVs, and sedans.
They also have a wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs as well.
Owned by a LaSalle graduate and a proud sponsor of Explorers basketball, Dunphy Ford should be your first stop to buy or lease a new car.
Visit them at 7700 Frankfort Avenue in the Northeast or at dunphyford.com.
We welcome you back to Crawford Stadium, where you never left, of course, but heard a message from our sponsors at Dunphy Ford. Now 4th down and punting are the North Penn Knights. Here's a good punt, end-over-end spin. Holland calls for the fair catch, makes it at the 39-yard line. Noah Clemens, number 46, has the punting duties tonight for North Penn and has done an admirable job.
And before we get the offense back out onto the field, the Where You Watchings are still rolling in, so we like to see them. So a nice shout-out to LaSalle College High School faculty member, Mr. Rob Johnson, telling us that the video feed looks great. You would do that as an AV guy, Mr. Johnson, so we appreciate that.
And we'll save the next ones for after this play, as 1st down and 10 for LaSalle. They need to get past the 50-yard line for the first. Isaiah Jones rolls to the weak side, has some room, up past the 50, and rumbles down to the 42-yard line.
Heck of a run there. Love seeing those Jets get turned on and Isaiah getting upfield. I mean, that's just a little bit of taste of what we could see the rest of the season. So it's a nice run for Isaiah.
Rob, and I saw the guard, number 77, Big Garrett Zobel, come back to the huddle, and that's a big part there, running off the guard and off the tackle. Hirschman trying to get through there, and those guys creating the seal. All Isaiah Jones needed to get about 15 yards. Now Jones will try it again. And a flag comes in, now a second, as Jones goes down at the line of scrimmage.
First one coming in from the, looked like almost the secondary. Holding. Hands to the face.
It is holding against LaSalle, you see on the left-hand side of your screen. The head official in the white cap. So now that's a killer if you're LaSalle. They haven't been as dependent on the big play so far. Sure, they've had their 10 and 12-yard gains so far, but really haven't seen Isaiah open it up over the top. So we'll see if North Penn will commit more to the line here. LaSalle looking to spread it out, though. 3 receivers with Quills in the slot. Now comes in motion. They fake the handoff. Isaiah Jones, nice screen play there for Malley. Malley cuts inside 2 defenders and is taken down a yard or 2 behind the original line of scrimmage.
That was a nice, comfortable pass. You kind of remember that. You think back to last year when you were trying to get Lamort into a steady rhythm. They'd kind of do those little rollouts and quick dump-offs to a guy moving out of the backfield. And, that's a nice completion there for Isaiah. Get him feeling it, seeing the ball fall into a receiver's hands, and maybe we can take that momentum and run forward with it.
Liam Traynor, the tight end, on the line on the strong side here, closest to our camera. Here's Jones rolling to the weak side, throws over the top, a good ball and caught by Brett Malley.
Heck of a grab, another one on the move. That one kind of the same play, but to the other side and a little bit deeper. And Isaiah puts it right on the money.
An 11-yard gain, just enough for a first down. 10:23 to play, second quarter. Still scoreless here from Crawford Stadium in LaSalle with their best forward momentum of the game, and senior quarterback Isaiah Jones with his best throw of the night.
See if they keep it in the air here, spreading them out again.
Malley has one-on-one coverage here, Rob. Splitting them out on the near side. The strong side here.
Love to see Malley put on a move and Isaiah look for him over the top.
Single safety on the left-hand side. But instead it's Jones taking off with some room. Shovels off one tackle and then taken down after a gain of 12 yards. A first down for LaSalle.
This is a nice-looking drive. You get a few big chunk plays. A couple passes over the top. Isaiah's in a rhythm. Then you let him tuck it and run. This is a dangerous-looking offense if they keep it up like this.
Manny Quills in the backfield
no one on
with
mound
Isaiah
right
Jones. And, yes, coming in late. That's number 2, John Haynes, who will play on both sides of the ball. We saw him on the offensive end as well as fielding punts. Jones lobs it over the top.
Oh.
Broken up. What a great play on that side by Justice Henley, number 5. That's big-time defense there from a senior.
That was good defense. Kind of anyone's ball, throw it up there. You'd like to see Holland come down with it, but
now that looks like there was a grab earlier, Rob, because there's a flag that came down in the area of defensive holding.
Yep.
And that's exactly what the call was.
Good eye, Bob. I'll compliment your eyes as well.
Thank you. As daylight turns into dusk, the lights shine brightly here upon Crawford Stadium.
We do.
Absolutely. 9 minutes, 48 seconds to play here in the second quarter, still scoreless, and LaSalle just inside the 10-yard line, first and goal. It's Joey Burnham and Manny Quills in the backfield alongside Isaiah Jones. Troy Holland and Brett Malley split out wide. Jones with the handoff to Quills, goes off tackle, keeps going towards the sideline, cuts inside, and comes up just shy. Didn't look like that was going anywhere, Rob, for a while, but the patience of Quills, and then to put that right foot in the ground again, cutting upfield.
The patience and the speed of just being able to run it out. He knew how much room he had in front of him before he reached the sideline. And like you said, able to plant that foot, drive it upfield, and pick up 9 yards there, 8-9 yards.
Justice Henley down on the play. It's actually not Henley, as he's up. Not sure who it is that they're attending to, and now it does become apparent. Number 44, Joey Slover. Slover is the one that jumped offside in the defensive penalty for North Penn in the middle of the field last drive for LaSalle, and looks to be okay as he walks under his own power to the sideline. North Penn, by the way, a scene out of Friday Night Lights, they have some of the team managers, some of the female team managers onto the field, but they have a lot of the jerseys of the teams. Owen Thomas, Justice Henley jersey I saw. Great show if you haven't seen it, by the way. And a great flick from a movie perspective if you haven't seen that movie.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So now we still have a stoppage here. I've not been called back into play. Clock stopped with 9 minutes, 37 seconds to play in the second quarter. Second down and goal from inside the 1 yard line. Isaiah Jones hands off to Quills and muscles through for the first touchdown of the year for the LaSalle Explorers. And a way for Manny Quills to say, I've arrived on the scene and I'm ready to take Cy Madden's role. A big drive there for Quills.
Don't worry about the backfield because we got a short spark in the backfield that's able to, run hard, run fast, and run through an offensive line that's got some size in front of them. So well put together drive by LaSalle and way to cap it off by Manny Quills.
Now Daniel Karish on to take the point after attempt. The holder will be Danny Selecki. Karish's kick is up, and it is good, and LaSalle takes a 7-0 lead, the first score of the game. 9:27 to play in this one. LaSalle with a 7-0 lead, and we'll take a break. The game today brought to you by our partners at Dunphy Ford.
Bob Long from Bob Long Sports here, and I want to urge all our listeners to visit our friends at Dunphy Ford in the Northeast.
Dunphy Ford has all the latest Ford models, trucks, SUVs, and sedans.
They also have a wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs as well.
Owned by a LaSalle graduate and a proud sponsor of Explorers basketball, Dunphy Ford should be your first stop to buy or lease a new car.
Visit them at 7700 Frankfort Avenue in the Northeast or at dunphyford.com.
We welcome you back to Crawford Stadium. Bob Long, Rob Stott, and Mara Jones on the camera. Thanks for being with us, and of course we'll welcome the fourth member of our team, Jason Bempa, next week. Excited to have him on and hope he feels better very soon.
And quickly before this kickoff, Bob, one more shout out to Deshaun Jones, who's watching from right in our backyard, Philadelphia. So, Deshaun, thank you for tuning in and catching Explorer football with us.
Daniel Karish set to kick it deep. A good line drive kick. That'll force it into the end zone. Nice one-handed catch there from Justice Henley. Why not?
OBJ in the making?
Why not? Wildcat operator, whatever they need.
Very nonchalant look. I like how he came down with that. That was so smooth, silky smooth. Now big drive here for the defense. I'd like to see them, LaSalle just put points up. Nice that you have a lead. They've been playing well to this point. Just want to see that consistent. Keep that consistent play. Don't let North Penn answer right back here.
Steve DePaul in the shotgun. Here's the handoff, and a big group of LaSalle Explorers right in there. Number 60, Michael Gibbs on the defensive line.
That was just an offensive line breakdown. I mean, you had, like you said, Bob, 3-4 LaSalle Explorers standing around there. Gibbs eventually coming up with the tackle, but they were just standing there waiting for North Penn's running back to fall into someone's arms.
And, Rob, a long season. We're not even 2 quarters into it, but you see already the dividends of having really 8 guys. I mean, with Maloney and Zobel playing both ways, maybe 6, but guys that are coming back on the line of scrimmage and have a full season of work. Here's another run up the middle. Devin Smith did just enough to trip him up. Cotton Jamal, a good run up the middle, though. It's going to be close. Third down and short as we tick under 8 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the second quarter. LaSalle with a 7-0 lead.
Third down and 2 for the Knights from the 28.
A big third down here. I'd like to see, the Explorers did a nice job holding the run on that first play, giving up a good 8 yards there on the second. Got a third and short. Kind of want to see them come through in one of these third and short situations. Pack in the box looking like they're coming for it.
Third down and 2. 8:06 to play and counting. Here's the I formation.
Oh.
Running through the tackles. Will it be enough?
Looking like they're giving them
It's
right on the
close.
line.
They're right at the 30, and they wave them on. They needed the 30. They got the 30. Conjamal, big man running downhill.
It's a nice job by LaSalle. They did pack the box. They had all 11 guys up there ready for the run. Got a solid hit on them. Just wasn't able to get enough momentum to keep them from gaining that line.
First down and 10, North Penn. It's Steve DePaul, the transfer from Norristown, under center. They fake the give to Cartwright. Throwing, chipped up into the air. Kuznetsov got the initial tip and couldn't come up with it.
I'm going to make a hockey joke. Kuznetsov coming up with the tip.
Yes.
Tip it into the back of the net.
I'm with you, Rob. Absolutely.
Tip it up in the air. Just couldn't come down with the pick. I love that name. Such a hockey name, though.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I see you have your playoff beard going today as
Trying.
well, Rob.
Trying. Like I said, I did not enough warning about this video thing, Bob. Next time I'll clean it up.
You look great, my friend. Second down and 10. Here's DePaul rolling and throwing. Has his man at the 46-yard line. Good throw and catch for the first down.
Joyce was doing a nice job following his man, but just let Catanzaro get too far off of him. Stopped. Catanzaro did, put his foot in the ground and knew the pass was coming. It's a well-designed play by North Penn.
Catanzaro, a strong player for this team over the last few years, and if I don't remember incorrectly, possibly a basketball player as well for this North Penn Knights team. Cannot confirm, but I've called enough of this school's games along with LaSalle over the last 2 years in various sports. So I believe that Catanzaro, a key in multiple sports for this North Penn team. The give up the middle to the fullback.
North Penn carry by number 4, Anthony Andrews.
Second down and 7 upcoming after the run by Anthony Andrews.
Gain of 2 on the play. Second down and 8 for the Knights. From the
Scorekeeper says, I don't think so, Bob. It's second down and 8. We'll have to agree to disagree. From their own 48-yard line, North Penn in the I formation. Justice Henley in the slot. A.J. Catanzaro out wide to the near side.
South showing blitz there. Backing off now.
Here's the handoff. Bounce into the outside. Maloney in there with a big-time tackle.
Whew.
Boy, I tell you, for a defensive end to have that type of movement laterally,
it's impressive.
phenomenal.
It's impressive. I mean, you're talking about, you think about the Eagles picking up a Barnett, going into the season an athletic defensive end. I mean, that was an athletic move there. This defensive line, I know we're not even a half into the season. They're showing some real promise, looking like they're going to be a unit that you don't want to really mess with this year.
Third down and 9. They need to be inside the LaSalle 45 for a first down. DePaul slings it over the middle through the arms of Owen Thomas. Might have been a bit behind him as well.
pass from DePaul is incomplete, intended for number 3, Owen Thomas.
Haven't seen the impact from the Villanova commit and the biggest guy on the field, Owen Thomas, that I thought we might have seen, Rob.
Yeah, I'm sure. Not sure if it has anything to do, with DePaul being a little shaken up early. The passes are a little off, not hitting the mark. But a guy that has the size like that, you'd expect him to come down with it, and just hasn't been able to.
Bad snap, and he put the knee on the ground. So that's a tough one. There's your high school / college rule there. number 46, the punter, Noah Clemens, in the effort to pick up that botched snap, put his knee on the ground. Obviously, you don't need to be down by contact at this level. Once that knee hits, you are down. So that, the equivalent of about a 12-yard sack on 4th down, and LaSalle sets up at the North Penn 35-yard line, a 1st down and 10.
Unfortunate play for the Knights, but, the Explorers, this is a real opportunity now. You're up 7-0. It's been kind of a feel-them-out process, it feels like, these first quarter and a half or so. This could be a chance to kind of put your foot down, put some points on the board, and start to pull away here early on.
Especially with the fact that North Penn started with the football in the first quarter, so LaSalle will get it to begin the second half.
Oh.
Brett Malley dropped the football. Ball is still loose. He may have come down on it. North Penn thinks they have it. And Malley did come up with it. A jet sweep gone wrong. Just never able to gobble it up and never able to really corral that. Led to the ball being put on the turf before Malley ever gained possession. Very fortunate and an athletic pickup by Malley. Now Isaiah Jones busts through, gets past one man at the 30.
Gets his first down and ducks it out. Smart play by the quarterback and athletic.
4 minutes, 34 seconds left here in the second quarter. Of LaSalle now with the first down.
First and 10 for LaSalle from the 23.
Isaiah Jones pulls it, has room, inside cut, and a great job to get up about 5 yards inside the 20-yard line to about the 15.
North Penn tackle by number 8, Shamar Edwards.
Jones taking it on his own a lot, early on in this game. I said I liked it at the top. I liked seeing him run it early. I don't know if he's taking it too much. If this is the design of the offense right now, to get the ball in his hands and get him moving, but for whatever, it's working. Might as well stick with it right now. Don't want to see them become too one-dimensional, though. Low snap there.
And now busting through. Close to the touchdown, being pushed forward just a little short, and the ball might have come loose. The ball came loose. Still no signal. And it will stay with LaSalle. Head official confirms.
First and goal for LaSalle.
LaSalle up to the line quickly here. Okay, Jones can't get a signal from the sideline.
Here's the snap. Takes it through the guard. Pushes through. And that's enough for a touchdown. Isaiah Jones puts the second touchdown on the board tonight. And the Explorers lead 13-0 with 3:18 to play in the second quarter.
It's an awesome drive there. He said that LaSalle needed to do something with the turnover, put some points on the board. And they did that, a drive that was led by Isaiah Jones on the ground.
Number 16, Denny Selecki with the hold.
Oh,
Kick is blocked. North Penn got through. Big Owen Daniel, or I should say Owen Thomas, looking like Owen Daniels, the tight end in the NFL. But there's that impact we were looking for from Owen Thomas. 13-0, 3:18 to play, and we'll take a break. Come back on the other side and bring you the kickoff here on BLS.
Bob Long from Bob Long Sports here, and I want to urge all our listeners to visit our friends at Dunphy Ford in the Northeast.
Dunphy Ford has all the latest Ford models, trucks, SUVs, and sedans.
They also have a wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs as well.
Owned by a LaSalle graduate and a proud sponsor of Explorers basketball, Dunphy Ford should be your first stop to buy or lease a new car.
Visit them at 7700 Frankfort Avenue in the Northeast or at dunphyford.com.
Kickoff for the Explorers.
Daniel Karish back on to kick for the LaSalle Explorers. Will kick deep to Justice Henley and KJ Cartwright. A 13-0 lead for the Explorers here at Crawford Stadium. Karish has put 2 deep so far. This one a bit shorter. Out comes Henley to the 20 and is knocked down at the 25-yard line. Good recovery there. Great job by the LaSalle Explorers. Number 20, Alex Santoro in there on the stop.
From the 24.
Now KJ Cartwright along with Steve DePaul out into the huddle. Big opportunity here, Rob. This 3 minutes and 13 seconds, very important for this LaSalle team and certainly for North Penn as well to try to draw some blood here. Here's DePaul dropping back in the shotgun. Fires it low. John Haynes, did he catch that football? Yes, he did. Back judge confirms. A great play by John Haynes. Hand-to-hand combat against the defensive back for LaSalle. And made the play.
I couldn't see it over. This is my height coming into account here. I couldn't see it over North Penn's sideline here, but it looked like a nice back shoulder throw by DePaul, and like you said, a nice battle for the hands, but he went down and got it. Heck of a grab.
Owen Pagini had pretty good coverage there for LaSalle as well. You're not going to argue with that. Under 3 minutes to play. DePaul in the shotgun. Hands off. Oh. He avoids Matchett, and Matchett got a hand on the face mask. So this is going to be a 15-yard penalty against LaSalle. The shiftiness of Khan Jamal is going to earn him the end of the run and then 15 yards more.
Nice little juke move there. Looked like it wasn't much of a grab. If anything, it looked like a slap of the head maybe. But, this day and age, that's enough for some yellow to hit the dirt.
Penalty is a 5-yard face mask.
So there you go, Rob. A 5-yard face mask. Shades of the old NFL where it could be an inadvertent grab and then release versus the 15-yard grab and hold.
I don't think I realized those were still a thing.
They are not at the NFL level.
Nope.
First down and 3, something you see every day. Now it's going deep. Overthrown. DePaul had him. Henley had just about one step on Charles Roten, who had pretty decent coverage, but again was beaten to the inside. And if you listen to guys like Nick Saban, you said, those defensive gurus, they'll say you can be step for step with that wide receiver, but if you don't have a piece of that shoulder on his far shoulder, you're going to have trouble there, especially when he can angle himself to the middle of the field. So it was a good route by Henley. Roten step for step, but a good DePaul throw. Could have put the Explorers in trouble. 2 minutes, 32 seconds to play. Here's the snap to DePaul. Throws it right into the arms of the LaSalle Explorers. Picks it, coming back down the field, and knocked down inside the 15-yard line.
DePaul was looking right at Frank Joyce. And I don't know who else he saw there, if he was expecting a receiver to come back to the ball, but all that ball was going to was a white number 3. and Joyce was able to hold on to it, keep his composure, turn it upfield, and put LaSalle in an awesome position here to put some more points on the board with just over 2:20 left in the half.
It looked like a little bit of zone coverage, Rob, or what was feigned as that if it wasn't true zone coverage, as the wheel route really wasn't covered over the top. But Frank Joyce just stood in his zone, and a little bit of touch could have put him in a good spot. Instead, a missile into the center of the stomach of number 3, Frank Joyce. Now Jones back onto the field. Jones with the lob. Holland goes up with one hand, can't make the play.
I was thinking pre-snap. I saw that coverage down here, low end. Holland had the size advantage. Wanted to see if Isaiah would go that direction, and he did. Just a little overthrown. Holland was able to get a fingertip on it, but couldn't bring it in. Nice attempt there by LaSalle.
Second and 10 for LaSalle from the 17.
Second down and 10. They need the 7 for a first down. Jones runs off his tackle, sneaks through inside the 10-yard line, and drops at about the 8.
Jones with the keeper for LaSalle.
Another strong run by Jones.
Gain of 9 on the play.
And LaSalle happy to milk this clock. We're now under 2 minutes to play
From the 8.
in this first half. Third down and 1 from the 8. Certainly within Daniel Carish range. We saw Mike Wells all of last year while Carish did the kickoffs. Now Carish's job, obviously blocked on the last extra point, but LaSalle thinking more. A minute 36 and counting. Third and 1 from the 8. 2 timeouts remaining for the Explorers here in the half. And a timeout called. They're going to burn one of those 2 before the play clock ran out.
Now, while we have a moment, I want to ask you, all these runs that LaSalle's got Isaiah Jones running, any concerns about durability?
I don't think so. And the reason I say that is that's his game. And if it comes to a point where he isn't able to fully use that game, that makes the throwing less effective. That makes the rushing attack from the backs in the backfield a little less effective. I think you have to ride your horse. Isaiah Jones is their horse. No problem on my end.
I agree. I like seeing it the first game of the year, showing confidence, being able to, put the ball in his hands, let him run it. Coming off of that, bad injury last year, they're showing that they're not real concerned about that. Not in a negative way that they're not concerned about it, but they're not concerned about it becoming an issue again this year, which is, a tremendous amount of confidence from the coaching staff.
Third down and 1. After the timeout, LaSalle back onto the field in the shotgun. Handoff inside. Manny Keelis inside the 5 and good enough for a first down.
Nice job by Manny. Been seeing this all night from him. I mean, it's kind of like a 1-2 punch between Jones and Manny. Seeing him take the ball up the middle of the field, it's kind of a, run and power run from both of them. Isaiah's got a little bit more size. Manny's able to shift it up into the middle a little bit, but both are strong runners and putting North Penn on their heels all night.
Under a minute to play. Isaiah Jones along with Joey Burnham and Manny Keelis in the backfield. It's the handoff to Keelis inside the 5, spinning to the end zone.
They're giving it to him.
Touchdown, Manny Keelis. His second of the game. It's 19-0 LaSalle.
Another impressive drive, leaving 45 seconds on the clock. That's okay. I'm all right with that. Just LaSalle taking another turnover, putting points on the board. It's what you got to do. And they're doing it in impressive fashion with a run game that, you think about losing a guy like Zaire Madden. It's a little concerning maybe, but we kind of saw, like we said at the top, last year that they had some guys underneath him that could step up, and Manny's proven to be that guy this year along with Isaiah. So, They're not missing much. Haven't really missed much in the run game so far. 3 touchdowns on the ground.
LaSalle already trying to get those points back after the missed extra point. Jones floats, finds, and it's a touchdown. Well, we should say 2-point conversion there, but into the end zone easily is Troy Holland. For the 2-point conversion, it's 21-0 LaSalle.
It just impressive work by this offense tonight so far. A couple first drives, they were maybe some early season jitters. First game jitters, getting them out, and now you look at them, they're on a roll.
21-0, as we said, 46.6 seconds to play in this one.
And, of course, just as I'm complimenting the run, they decide to put the 2-point conversion in through the air.
But
and
again,
it worked,
Rob, that's what happens. You run the ball with that read option enough. It's either Jones or it's Keyless.
And North Penn bit that time, and Holland was the 2-point conversion. Open up Holland in the end zone, and it's what this offense is capable of this year. Something we didn't really get to see a lot last year, and it kind of makes you wonder what last year might have been like if Jones was a healthy QB.
It's a good point, Rob. Certainly a year of understanding the system and watching a guy like Tom Lamort learn the offense and having the ability to come into his senior year really fresh, even though he didn't have that full basis of a 9-game regular season at quarterback, I think has helped him. A bouncing ball taken out to the 25 and dropped a little bit past the 25-yard line. A little pushing and shoving after. Henley gets it out. And North Penn will start again. Only one timeout remaining for the Knights. Rob, I wonder what type of shot they'll take here.
Imagine a couple.
Knowing that LaSalle gets the ball to start the second half.
You got to do something here. If I'm LaSalle, I mean, I hate prevent defense, don't get me wrong. And this secondary hasn't been tested too much yet, but
they're playing the nickel right now, Rob, as they have 5 defensive backs, second safety back. DePaul trying to get out of trouble, throws it up. That's really dangerous. Knocked down. Justice Henley has to play some defense. Boy, that could have really broken it open more than it's already been.
That was a nice battle and a nice job by Henley to break up what would have been a sure interception.
Steve DePaul, still a junior, Rob.
Explorer shaking up here, running off 26.
Yeah, it's Owen Pagini. Yeah. That's the transfer from Penn Charter. Guy that they think can be a lockdown corner this year. Owen's done a nice job here tonight. Second down and 10, 32.4 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Here's DePaul. And that was just a miscommunication, throwing it for Henley. Henley was going on a post route down the field. He throws it as if he was playing a comebacker. So a little bit of communication breakdown here. And unfortunately for DePaul, the guy that, and I think he's going to have a great year when all is said and done, but came in, new offense, new school, still a junior. You're seeing some struggles early.
Yeah, not a lot of, real reps, I guess you could say, with this offense. I don't know if North Penn's in school yet, so he might not even have been able to step foot in North Penn's, classrooms yet. So still getting to know his guys, build that chemistry. They'll be able to do that throughout the year, but just not there yet.
DePaul goes over the middle, a short one, big-time hit. In the middle of the field, the linebacker, Liam Traynor, flattens number 2, John Haynes.
That hurt me up here. Oh, man, Liam Traynor putting the hurt on.
And now LaSalle will burn their final timeout with 19.2 seconds to play here in the second quarter. 4th down and 7 upcoming for North Penn from their own 30-yard line, so LaSalle will get a shot.
I love this for a couple reasons. One, you think about the last punt. There's the botched snap, knee down. LaSalle got the ball in excellent field position. That could happen again. You give yourselves an opportunity to return the punt. The North Penn punt game hasn't been anything to really, make you kind of shake in your boots. So, you could get the ball in really good field position, get a shot at the end zone here maybe. A lot of things can happen in 14 seconds.
I remember a couple years ago here, 2 years ago now, Winston Eubanks took a what was a kick return all the way back, but LaSalle has shown from a special teams perspective that they're able to do that, and you have two of your best weapons back to receive, number 1, Troy Holland, and number 7, Brett Malley. It'll be number 46, Clemens, again to punt. They put 21 seconds on the clock. LaSalle doesn't really come after it. This a decent punt. Malley makes the play and goes down almost immediately. But that'll set up LaSalle with at least an opportunity to go deep and perhaps get into Daniel Carish field goal range.
So we've been kind of waiting for Isaiah. Opened it up once over the top early on, overthrew his guy. So this will, if they don't dump it down and try to pick up yardage for a field goal, this will give us an opportunity to see what that arm looks like, what he's capable of doing.
So LaSalle now breaks that huddle. And in comes number 11 on the near side of your screen, Marvin Harrison Jr. at 6'3". A guy that they like to let go up and get the football.
Am I reading that right? A freshman?
Yes, sir. Here's Jones, floats, throws over the middle, has number 7, Brett Malley, has to get out of bounds, and does with 5.6 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Still going to need some room. Still need a little bit more for Daniel Carish.
At the 35.
Would be 52.
First down, Explorers.
I would think we're going to go for it.
You could still run if you're confident in the range, you could run 8 to 10 yard out, got to get out of bounds, or something past the first down marker with an intent to spike. It would be very tight, though, 5.6. Jones waits, fires. Troy Holland, they throw it behind Carter, and that'll be the end of the first half.
A little hook and ladder.
So that's the end of the first quarter, or I should say first half. Great to be with you here, Rob Stott. Mara Jones on camera. Thanks for being with us in our first broadcast of the 2017 season. A good start here for LaSalle, leading 21-0 and set to receive to begin the second half. We'll take a break and come back for the halftime show here on BLS.
Bob Long from Bob Long Sports here, and I want to urge all our listeners to visit our friends at Dunphy Ford in the Northeast.
Dunphy Ford has all the latest Ford models, trucks, SUVs, and sedans.
They also have a wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs as well.
Owned by a LaSalle graduate and a proud sponsor of Explorers basketball, Dunphy Ford should be your first stop to buy or lease a new car.
Visit them at 7700 Frankfort Avenue in the Northeast or at dunphyford.com.
Elmark Signs and Graphics, your choice for custom signs and design, has been servicing the Philadelphia area for over 30 years. From illuminated signs to vehicle wraps, Elmark Signs is your choice for all your custom signs needs. Elmark delivers high-quality signs with a courteous, helpful, and experienced staff. Visit them at elmarksigns.com or give them a call at 610-692-0525. Again, that's elmarksigns.com, 610-692-0525. Go check out their website for some great examples of signs that Elmark has created, and be sure to tell them that Bob Long Sports sent you. elmarksigns.com, your choice for custom signs and design.
Hi, this is Rob Stott with Bob Long Sports. BLS is the official host of the pregame show for the Philadelphia Soul. Be sure to tune in before every home game for featured interviews with head coach Clint Dolzell and quarterback Dan Radeball, as well as player profiles. We even get the opportunity to speak with AFL Commissioner Scott Butera.
Commissioner of the Arena Football League, Scott Butera on the line.
You do a tremendous job. Of all the, local broadcast teams, by far Philadelphia is the gold standard in our league. I wish they all could be like that because you really understand our game, you promote it well.
So be sure to tune in 30 minutes before every home game and check at Bob Long Sports on Twitter for programming updates.
This is Bob Long here, and you certainly know me from BLS, doing LaSalle College High School broadcasts, our weekly radio shows, and everything in between. However, during the 9 to 5, I am a commercial banker in the greater Philadelphia area. If your business is looking for financing or any other type of assistance, you can reach me at 215-328-2578. That's 215-328-2578. I've had experience in the energy industry, healthcare, public finance, as well as in manufacturing and leasing. Bob Long, a commercial banker in the greater Philadelphia market, helping your businesses grow. Bob Long from Bob Long Sports here, and I want to tell you about the good folks over at City Year Philadelphia. Every day, the dedicated young adults at City Year make an impact in high-need schools in Philadelphia and in 26 other cities across the country by serving students who need extra help to stay on track to graduate. If you are ages 17 to 24 and are interested in serving as a tutor, role model, or mentor, check out the inspiring stories at #MakeBetterHappen. City Year is currently accepting applicants for the next school year. Hey Bob Long Sports fans, how can you stay involved with the site anytime? A reminder to follow us on Twitter at Bob Long Sports. You can also access our Facebook group. Just search Bob Long Sports and it'll come right up. And then, if you have a smartphone, you can listen to any of our live programming by visiting the Ustream app, that's USTREAM, searching Bob Long Sports, all one word, and you can access any live programming on the Bob Long Sports Network. So be sure to stay connected to Bob Long Sports.
Bob Long Sports, your daily dose of sports. Sports.
BobLongSports.com gives you not only the best radio broadcasts on the internet, but plenty of articles as well. Stay up to date on your Penn State football team, stay up to date on college football, the MLB, the NFL, and every other major sport out there. Just tune in to all the radio shows and be sure to check our website regularly to see what content we have up now. And when you hear that jingle,
Bob Long Sports, your daily dose of sports. Sports.
You know you're in the right place. Bob Long from Bob Long Sports here, and I want to urge all our listeners to visit our friends at Dunphy Ford in the Northeast. Dunphy Ford has all the latest Ford models, trucks, SUVs, and sedans. They also have a wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs as well. Owned by a LaSalle graduate and a proud sponsor of Explorers basketball, Dunphy Ford should be your first stop to buy or lease a new car. Visit them at 7700 Frankfort Avenue in the Northeast or at dunphyford.com.
Check out the team of attorneys at Howland Hess O'Connell for all your estate planning needs. Located at 2444 Huntington Pike in Huntington Valley, Howland Hess O'Connell specializes in the drafting of wills, powers of attorney, and living wills. Partner Michael Cassidy, a LaSalle High School graduate and father of Michael Cassidy, Jr., class of 2009, is a proud alumnus and former quarterback for your LaSalle Explorers. Call today at 215-287-9292 or CUP Wawa.
Elmark Signs and Graphics, your choice for custom signs and design, has been servicing the Philadelphia area for over 30 years. From illuminated signs to vehicle wraps, Elmark Signs is your choice for all your custom signs needs. Elmark delivers high-quality signs with a courteous, helpful, and experienced staff. Visit them at elmarksigns.com or give them a call at 610-692-0525. Again, that's elmarksigns.com. 610-692-0525. Go check out their website for some great examples of signs that Elmark has created, and be sure to tell them that Bob Long Sports sent you. elmarksigns.com, your choice for custom signs and design.
Hi, this is Rob Stott with Bob Long Sports. BLS is the official host of the pregame show for the Philadelphia Soul. Be sure to tune in before every home game for featured interviews with head coach Clint Dolzell and quarterback Dan Radeball, as well as player profiles. We even get the opportunity to speak with AFL Commissioner Scott Butera.
Commissioner of the Arena Football League, Scott Butera on the line.
You do a tremendous job. Of all the, local broadcast teams, by far Philadelphia is the gold standard in our league. I wish they all could be like that because you really understand our game, you promote it well.
So be sure to tune in 30 minutes before every home game and check at Bob Long Sports on Twitter for programming updates.
This is Bob Long here, and you certainly know me from BLS, doing LaSalle College High School broadcasts, our weekly radio shows, and everything in between. However, during the 9 to 5, I am a commercial banker in the greater Philadelphia area. If your business is looking for financing or any other type of assistance, you can reach me at 215-328-2578. That's 215-328-2578. I've had experience in the energy industry, healthcare, public finance, as well as in manufacturing and leasing. Bob Long, a commercial banker in the greater Philadelphia market, helping your businesses grow. Bob Long from Bob Long Sports here, and I want to tell you about the good folks over at City Year Philadelphia. Every day, the dedicated young adults at City Year make an impact in high-need schools in Philadelphia and in 26 other cities across the country by serving students who need extra help to stay on track to graduate. If you are ages 17 to 24 and are interested in serving as a tutor, role model, or mentor, check out the inspiring stories at #MakeBetterHappen. City Year is currently accepting applicants for the next school year.
Welcome back. This is halftime here at Crawford Stadium, home of the North Penn Knights, as LaSalle takes on North Penn. Bob Long, Rob Stott here, and Mara Jones doing the camera work. Great job, everybody. Good to have you guys on the team this year. Certainly appreciate all the work these guys have done, and thanks to everybody out there for listening. This is a LaSalle Explorers team that has showed their grit in the first half, and maybe more than anything else, shown their defense, Rob. I think that's been the key for this team so far, and has been the really shining star in what's been a pretty wholesome performance all around.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about what we talked about at the top, and that's the consistency between the offensive and defensive lines. That experience, that playing together, that cohesiveness really shined through in the first half, on both sides of the ball, really. Obviously on the defense, able to hold North Penn to absolutely nothing on the scoreboard, coming through, busting through the line quite often, wreaking havoc in the backfield. And then on the offensive side, I know we'll get to it, but, you talk about them being able to open up holes for Manny Quills and for Isaiah Jones, busting a lot of big runs, keeping their guys on their feet, and that's why we got this lead right now, and it's good to see.
Absolutely. 21-0, as we said, and this is the halftime show here on BLS with Bob Long and Rob Stott, and this is the YTBS halftime show. You know what that means?
Give it to me. What?
It's yet to be sponsored for those out there that are looking to support what we do here, and I say that in jest, but our good folks at Dunphy Ford have done so much for us over the last few years, and of course the guys over at Howland Hess O'Connell who sponsored the halftime show last year. That's allowed us, Rob, to make these advances, to make us a legitimate entity that's been able to put on this HD video here tonight, increasing the budget and allowing us to make these steps forward for the LaSalle community. So, sort of shameless there.
It's been fun, though.
YT.
This has been fun.
So it's great, and we're here on the halftime show. I want to talk a little bit about Isaiah Jones as well. I think we've seen a lot of good things from him, at times a bit run first. Not that that's a bad thing, and not that that's not what we'll see all year long, but I do want to see a little bit more of reading multiple progressions, maybe not having the first receiver, and then being able to direct to his second or to his third. And then also, I think in terms of throwing off the back foot, just a little bit too much of that, Rob. I think that overall he's done a great job. He's led this offense extremely well, and we're going to see a lot of growth out of a super talented kid and a guy that's going to be really a great guy to have for 9 regular season games and as long as it may last in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, during the half that, it was good for not good for him to be hurt and sit there and watch last year, but a learning experience, a growing experience for him to be able to kind of sit back, watch the offense, learn the offense, and come out this year really ready to go. He showed a little bit of shakiness, maybe some jitters the first half here, kind of getting his feet wet underneath him and everything. But, I thought we saw his 2 best throws of the half come the last drive of the half. They didn't put points on the board. but you saw him really set his feet, kind of get his mechanics down, fire the ball over the middle, and find his receivers. And, if you're talking about momentum going into the second half and the rest of the season, you got to feel pretty good about what you saw on the ground, running the ball from Isaiah, but also that last drive and being able to put the ball in the air and pass it in an effective manner.
We also want to talk a little bit about an entity that you heard on some of our commercials here as well, the Philadelphia Soul. They are in the Arena Bowl tomorrow. And, Rob, you remember maybe about 360-some days to this very moment, we were doing a pregame show, a combo, Dunphy Ford pregame show for the Philadelphia Soul, who were playing their Arena Bowl title game that they would eventually win against the Arizona Rattlers out in Glendale while we previewed the LaSalle football season. Now, tomorrow we have an opportunity to be in the building for Arena Bowl, as the Philadelphia Soul were the top team in the Arena Football League this year, and now they're looking for another title for Philly. And it's a good opportunity against Tampa Bay Storm. Soul have only lost one game this year. It's been fun this year, Rob. I'm sorry that you won't be able to make it. But Rob's been a key member of the team all year long.
It's been a pleasure calling those games. I think we were sitting here last year while they won Arena Bowl.
That's right.
They broke through. I think no one gave them a chance in Arena Bowl out there in Arizona playing in that stadium, in that environment. But the Soul did it, and they'll get a chance to do it at home. They were talking about the road to repeat. And I think you have to go back to the 70s, 74, 75, the last time Philadelphia saw a repeat champion.
Oh, I see where you go with that.
So,
yes.
it's the Arena Bowl. That's fine. People might not give it the due respect it's deserved, but I think Philly's got a great product, and I'd love to see more people in the seats in Wells Fargo Center for those games. And it's been a pleasure to kind of follow them along the last 2 years. And best of luck to them, and best of luck to you tomorrow, calling that game.
Thank you. Not calling the game.
No, I'm sorry, previewing the game and then being there for the game. So
yes, doing the pregame show. Yep. We'll have Scott Butera. We've had him on the phone multiple times. He's going to be live in studio with us, so we're excited to meet him in person, talk to him. He's done a great job with that league. And again, it's a video pregame show. The same link you're watching right now, that will be where you'll find our show tomorrow, and that'll be at 6:30 p.m. for a 7 o'clock kick. So be sure to join us there. We also want to mention for the LaSalle College High School faithful and the soon-to-be LaSalle College High School family, the open house on October the 1st. Come on out. You're going to have a great opportunity to meet some of the teachers, to see the great facilities and everything that LaSalle has to offer. If you're a 6th, a 7th, and 8th grader, come on out and be part of the open house. Rob, I know you were a part of it last year. I don't know if you'll be part of it this year with a little guy here, little Carson. Hopefully he's doing well at home. But, maybe you can even see Rob.
We'll see. We'll have to see what the wife wants me doing. If I was there helping last year with the alumni, introducing our alumni group and what we do. But it's always a fun time coming back to campus, whether it's meeting families of guys that have already gone through the school that are now seeing their little ones come up and become explorers. It's just an all-around cool experience. So definitely, wish the families well as they prep for their future at LaSalle College High School.
That's October the 1st. It's a Saturday. That is a Sunday, Rob. October 1st, a Sunday at LaSalle College High School. All the information can be found at lschs.org. And be sure to make an appearance if you're if you want to be a LaSalle College High School explorer. It's a great place to go to school. It's where Rob and I went to school.
We're a little biased,
so we certainly
it's a good place.
Certainly recommend it. Again, that's October 1st, and you can find all the information on lschs.org. And now we will turn your attention to the field as we have just a few minutes before we get back for the second half.
The talk of the suburbs. And also, fans, don't forget to tune in to North Penn Television's brand new
Bob
show.
Long from Bob Long Sports here, and I want to urge all our listeners to visit our friends at Dunphy Ford in the Northeast.
Dunphy Ford has all the latest Ford models, trucks, SUVs, and sedans.
They also have a wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs as well.
Owned by a LaSalle graduate and a proud sponsor of Explorers basketball, Dunphy Ford should be your first stop to buy or lease a new car.
Visit them at 7700 Frankfort Avenue in the Northeast or at dunphyford.com.
Elmark Signs and Graphics, your choice for custom signs and design, has been servicing the Philadelphia area for over 30 years. From illuminated signs to vehicle wraps, Elmark Signs is your choice for all your custom signs needs. Elmark delivers high-quality signs with a courteous, helpful, and experienced staff. Visit them at elmarksigns.com or give them a call at 610-692-0525. Again, that's elmarksigns.com. 610-692-0525. Go check out their website for some great examples of signs that Elmark has created, and be sure to tell them that Bob Long Sports sent you. elmarksigns.com, your choice for custom signs and design.
Hi, this is Rob Stott with Bob Long Sports. BLS is the official host of the pregame show for the Philadelphia Soul. Be sure to tune in before every home game for featured interviews with head coach Clint Dolzell and quarterback Dan Radeball, as well as player profiles. We even get the opportunity to speak with AFL Commissioner Scott Butera.
Commissioner of the Arena Football League, Scott Butera on the line.
You do a tremendous job. Of all the, local broadcast teams, by far Philadelphia is the gold standard in our league. I wish they all could be like that because you really understand our game, you promote it well.
So be sure to tune in 30 minutes before every home game and check at Bob Long Sports on Twitter for programming updates.
This is Bob Long here, and you certainly know me from BLS, doing Salle College High School broadcasts, our weekly radio shows, and everything in between. However, during the 9 to 5, I am a commercial banker in the greater Philadelphia area. If your business is looking for financing or any other type of assistance, you can reach me at 215-328-2578. That's 215-328-2578. I've had experience in the energy industry, healthcare, public finance, as well as in manufacturing and leasing. Bob Long, a commercial banker in the greater Philadelphia market, helping your businesses grow. Bob Long from Bob Long Sports here, and I want to tell you about the good folks over at City Year Philadelphia. Every day, the dedicated young adults at City Year make an impact in high-need schools in Philadelphia and in 26 other cities across the country by serving students who need extra help to stay on track to graduate. If you are ages 17 to 24 and are interested in serving as a tutor, role model, or mentor, check out the inspiring stories at #MakeBetterHappen. City Year is currently accepting applicants for the next school year. Hey Bob Long Sports fans, how can you stay involved with the site anytime? A reminder to follow us on Twitter at Bob Long Sports. You can also access our Facebook group. Just search Bob Long Sports and it'll come right up. And then, if you have a smartphone, you can listen to any of our live programming by visiting the Ustream app, that's USTREAM, searching Bob Long Sports, all one word, and you can access any live programming on the Bob Long Sports Network. So be sure to stay connected to Bob Long Sports.
Bob Long Sports, your daily dose of sports. Sports.
BobLongSports.com gives you not only the best radio broadcasts on the internet, but plenty of articles as well. Stay up to date on your Penn State football team, stay up to date on college football, the MLB, the NFL, and every other major sport out there. Just tune in to all the radio shows and be sure to check our website regularly to see what content we have up now. And when you hear that jingle,
Bob Long Sports, your daily dose of sports. Sports.
You know you're in the right place. Welcome back to North Penn High School, Crawford Stadium here in Lansdale. Bob Long, Rob Stott, and we have Mara Jones behind the camera, broadcasting LaSalle College High School football all year long, and it's brought to you by our partners at Dunphy Ford. Almost ready for the second half. 21-0 LaSalle.
And a chance, Bob, to put some points on the board right away for LaSalle, getting the ball out of the halftime here.
Back deep to return for the Explorers. Brett Malley is deep, and Kelly McNamara, the female kicker last year who made national news after leveling a fellow Suburban 1 returner. She can do it all. Great story here. Good kick for McNamara. And it took a tough hop. It looked like it might have been bouncing into the end zone, but took a hop out of bounds, so a legal procedure against the Knights. LaSalle will get good field position to start.
Kick rolls out of bounds inside the 5-yard
And this has been the story all night. We started with the field position battle. Since then, LaSalle was able to swing it in their favor after North Penn had a good first drive, kind of pinned LaSalle back. They were able to fight their way back in terms of field position and put some points on the board, and now you get good field position to start the second half, and you kind of want to make sure you do something with it here.
They're going to take the kicking team back onto the field, and LaSalle will get another option here. They're going to walk this off. Yep, they elect to have the re-kick.
They will
back it up 5 yards.
Where do they place it, Bob? Do you know?
40.
The 40?
Yep.
Interesting.
So now Brett Malley just takes a few more steps up. He has his heels on the 10.
Interesting move.
Devin Smith back there as well. Set to return for the Explorers. Now McNamara, very short approach to the ball. Only stands 4 yards behind, 3 steps, and fires. A much better kick. Malley catches it. Takes it to the center of the field. Has some room. Cuts upfield. And is knocked down.
Ball's at the 30. So I don't understand the... I mean, end of the day, it's 10 yards, but that's 10 yards that you're giving up there by having the re-kick.
Shamar Edwards in there on the tackle, and now LaSalle back out onto the field to start the offensive set here in the third quarter.
First and 10 for LaSalle from the 30.
Inside handoff to Keyless. Keyless goes, and he's got a big-time run up to the 50-yard line, taken down on the plus side of midfield. Zigs and zags his way into night territory.
Makes that decision to re-kick moot after one play there, bringing it up past midfield and putting LaSalle into North Penn territory already here early on. Nice strong run there by Manny.
3 receivers out to the near side here. Malley in the slot.
No one. We got two DBs on 3 receivers here near side.
Yeah, you have 1 safety deep, so they have no help over the top. Handoff, Keyless taken down after about a yard. It seemed like there might have been an opportunity for Octavius Carter, who is coming out for what looked like a bubble screen opportunity, but no.
Yeah, it looked like you would like to see Jones, they're calling, you had his receivers telling him what was happening down there close to us, and you would like to see him kind of, as a senior, it's early in the season, but, take control of the play, option into that pass play instead.
Here's the jet sweep to Octavius Carter. Might be a hold coming, no flag. Carter knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line. I think Liam Trainer may have gotten away with one there, Rob, as he he had him in between the shoulders, but then held on, I thought, for a second too long. Official gave him the benefit of the doubt, and now it's 3rd and 5 for LaSalle.
Love how quickly that line gets up to the ball.
There's big Isaiah Jones ready to take the snap, but first a whistle. And a timeout for North Penn. With 10:09 here to play in the third quarter, and it's time again to play our game. Where you at?
Let us know.
Let us know where you're at and where you're listening from. Thanks again to some of the folks that have reached out. And we will give you a shout-out on air like the one that Rob's about to give.
Got another one from Nancy DeJohnny telling us, having the video is great. It's almost like being there, Bob. Might even be better.
Your words or hers?
Hers.
Ah, okay.
And mine, too. I'll take, I read them, right?
Nancy, we appreciate your patronage and your attention here as we broadcast LaSalle College High School football. It's folks like yourself that are unable to make the games, maybe in a different time zone, maybe in a different country, like our friend Daniel from Ireland. That's why we do things like this. And, of course, if you can't make it to the game locally, we encourage you to listen to the game that way as well. But hopefully you can make it out in person next time after seeing what great action we have here at the high school level. There's so much good to see on both sides of the field here tonight. Jones this time fakes the jet sweep. Look at this room. Gets by the first guy. Now look at the room. Leading is Colin Hirschman on the block, and he sneaks down inside the 25-yard line. There's the advantage of having a big 6'6" guy, super athletic at the tackle position. He's running down the field as a lead blocker for Isaiah Jones after he made the first defensive end miss.
Unreal. And Jones just, again, showing his athletic ability, able to carry the ball downfield, and is a tough guy to bring down. Again, the wide receivers out here, you only got 2 guys. No safety help over the top. Now we got to maybe Smith. No.
Yep, that safety is going to cover. Now Isaiah Jones able to pick up this ball, trying to make something of it, and there's an easy flag call coming in as Troy Holland pushed in the back against the defensive back.
North Penn tackle by number 3, Owen Thomas. There is a flag on the play. Penalty is holding against LaSalle.
LaSalle called for I thought it was going to be a block in the back.
Just had a grasshopper on my back, Bob.
Is that? You were squirming over there. I didn't know what the heck you were doing.
Getting a nice big green bug off of my shirt. Anything can happen in high school football.
That is true, I suppose. Even that.
I don't know what that has to do with football, but...
Nah, neither do I. Here's a long first down. They give it off to Keyless. Makes one miss. Stutter steps and gets out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A good run to get a lot back.
Nice little juke move. Doing the little high step. Making this guy kind of plant his feet, wait for him to make a move, and scooted right by him, did Manny. Nice gain on first down. First and long.
Second down and 15 for the Explorers from the 29.
Second and 15 with 9:12 to play in the third quarter. Jones comes to his third read. Malley goes up and gets it. Cutting down the middle. Cutting through.
Turning
to the 10
it
to the
on.
5.
Oh, they're going to mark
Just shy.
him just
Down
just
at the
short.
1-yard line.
Malley shoestring tackle to keep him out of the end zone. He tried to reach for it, just couldn't get extended enough. He stopped about, looks like 6 inches short maybe.
Clock stopped at 9:02 as they reset the chains. Isaiah Jones looking to work quickly, now surveys the defense.
Inside handoff to the fullback.
It'll be Keyless going for his third, and he has it. Third touchdown of the night for Manny Keyless. 27-0 LaSalle with 8:48 to play in the third.
And obviously that play was set up by Jones, finding Malley, his check down option. Kind of a little inside bubble screen almost to Malley, who had blockers lined up in front of him and was just able to turn it on quickly, the afterburners. Turn it upfield and set Manny up for the easy punch in.
Now it's Daniel Karish to take the extra point. That one is up, and it is good from Daniel Karish. And the Explorers lead. 28-0 the score here, and Rob, what a different picture this paints than last year.
Yeah, I mean, this is an offense that early on in game one, they're showing that they have confidence. They're able to move the ball almost at will, it seems like right now. Just weapons all over the field. A quarterback that is athletic and can fire the ball to nearly any spot on the field, and a running game that hasn't lost a step. So it's good to see on that side of the ball. And now we'll get a look at a defense that hasn't given up a point to this point in the game. So all things are firing in the right direction for LaSalle here in game one.
Number 18, Daniel Karish to kick off for LaSalle.
Karish will kick it deep. KJ Cartwright back to return. End-over-end kick, a short one. Retrieved on the other side of the field. Now Justice Henley tries to bounce it outside, tries to get to the angle, and LaSalle does a nice job to string him all the way out. Sean Daly all the way across the field made first contact and forced him inside to the rest of the help. Alex Santoro came up with the eventual tackle.
Tried to get the outside there, but it was a nice job by the Explorers to stay in their lanes and offer a little assistance on the back end and prevent that from being anything more than what it could have been.
I formation for Steve DePaul, who's yet to get it going here for North Penn. The handoff, and LaSalle wrestles him out of bounds after a gain of 4 yards. Xavier Gorski, number 16, into the game for the first time at the running back position. We see him out of the backfield instead of Khan Jamal. And we see big Khan Jamal on the sideline. He had a pretty good game, Rob, and I don't think that we've seen the last of him, certainly, but 28-0, you're giving an opportunity for Gorski here, who gets another touch, bounces it to the outside. Now a great cut inside. Xavier Gorski to the 50, to the 45, to the 40.
This isn't going to matter, guys. We got a flag in the backfield. There was a lot of holding. Whole lot of holding.
They'll bring it all the way back. Doesn't change the fact that it was a pretty nice lateral cut by our friend Xavier Gorski.
Got a little help, but it was a good move by him, able to string it out and do a whole lot of running that's going to end up being for a whole lot of nothing.
8 minutes, 23 seconds to play here in the third quarter. And LaSalle, we mentioned, Rob, coming into this game as the number 2 team in Southeastern PA, according to the Philadelphia Inquirer. North Penn coming off a season in which they were dispatched in the semifinals of the PIAA 6A state championship run, but they lost a lot. And I think you're seeing somewhat similar to what we saw last year in this game, but with the roles reversed. LaSalle, they came out with a quarterback that didn't play the year prior, didn't even necessarily expect to play until a few weeks before the season, and they were working out the kinks, and they were able to figure it out by the end. North Penn, trailing by 28, just hasn't had their day, but they're going to have their day in Suburban 1, and when these guys get a little bit more together, nearly intercepted there, and there's going to be a flag thrown. That's going to be against Liam Traynor on the pass interference.
Very clearly he was kind of tackling his guy before the ball got there. Traynor was.
But, Rob, I think the point I was making there is this North Penn team will have its day, and they will learn a lot from this game.
Yeah, it's still early in the season. They've got quite a few weeks ahead of them to sort these things out. Like we said, DePaul is a transfer quarterback coming in here. He'll get into a groove. I'm sure he'll put together a fine campaign for this team. North Penn, it's a staple program in this part of the state. They're always going to be up near the top, upper tier of what is Southeastern PA football, if not, the state as a whole. So they'll get it going. They've got the staff in place to be able to work these kinks out, kind of sort things out as they should be for North Penn, and I'm sure they'll right the ship here in the next week or so.
2nd down and 5 after the penalty against Traynor. DePaul steps back. He's going to go over the top. Thrown deep. Can Henley get there? No. It was a pretty good route there from Henley. Just line up, wait for the starting gun, and bolt down the middle of the field, or down the sideline in this case. And, DePaul put a little bit too much air under that ball, Rob, but could have put them back in a position where maybe a little bit of momentum with a long score. Now it's 3rd and 5, and they really need to convert.
Yeah, could have. And those are the kinds of plays, you talk about the difference from this year to last. Those are the kind of plays we saw constantly go against the Explorers last year. So haven't been bitten by it yet. Here it comes.
Here's the blitz on 3rd down. DePaul hangs in, throws it high, and a great piece of defense there by the Explorers. Almost a one-handed catch, but once that contact is made, the defender free to unload, and that's what dispatch the ball from control. It'll be 4th down and 5.
Looked like Roten over on the other side did a nice job sticking with his man. Wait until that ball got there and then breaking up the pass to force a 4th down here.
You see some of the frustration on the near sideline here, Rob, just below your screen. 4 of the offensive linemen coming off the field, some of them ripping their helmets off, getting upset with the pass protection as well as just the general struggles. Now Clemens off the side of his foot. Malley comes up.
Oh.
It hits a helmet. Here's an opportunity for North Penn. They fall on it.
Wow.
A short kick. Malley was standing underneath it, but it hit a LaSalle helmet on the way down. Free ball after that, and North Penn given a gift.
Those frustrated faces we just saw, I mean, couldn't have changed to smiles more quickly. They're back on the field, get to take over an excellent field position. That is just so unfortunate for Malley. Kind of, overran what was a short kick and had the ball bounce right off of the crown of his helmet and sets North Penn up in excellent field position to maybe pull momentum back in their favor a little bit here.
7 minutes, 56 seconds to play in the third quarter, and North Penn has life. Down 28-0. Rob, I think we would say they need 7 here. They don't necessarily need it quickly. They need 7, and they need to put points on the board and then try to go get themselves a stop. But it all starts here with getting something going offensively. They start in the I formation. They keep Gorski in at the running back position, muscling through and taken down amidst the crowd inside the 20-yard line.
In the middle, it's clear that this, LaSalle defensive line, North Penn's been able to get some room on the outside and pick up some nice gains, but in the middle, it's been a real tough go for them.
Out of the eye. The give to Gorski. Gorski bounces off to the outside, has a block. He's in for the touchdown.
There it is. Like I said, they kind of fake it up the middle. The play might have been drawn up to go up the middle, a draw play, but Gorski, knows what this defensive line has been doing up there and is able to bounce it out, turn it upfield, and get North Penn on the board here. Much needed 6 points for the Knights.
Now McNamara in to put up the point after attempt. And they don't have a holder. A.J. Catanzaro comes onto the field a little late. McNamara's kick is low and no good. 7:04 to play. The score 28-6. North Penn, though, able to get what they needed, which was a touchdown. Now they're going to kick it off to LaSalle and try to get themselves a stop. I think it's probably a little early, Rob, for onside type discussions. 18 minutes, 19 minutes left in this game.
Well, let's not forget who you're talking to over here.
Riverboat Rob makes another appearance.
Not quite yet. I don't think so, but, now we're sitting here saying I don't think so. Maybe that's the time you do it. You kind of catch them off guard, the Explorers. But I'm not ready to start throwing chips down and making any big bets now or this early in the season. So maybe if we're 2-3 weeks from the playoffs and we're in a bit of a tight race, but
we need you in mid-season form, Riverboat. we need you in the form where we're going to see 4th down, go for it, fake punts.
We'll get there.
And I think you see LaSalle sees that it's quite the possibility.
Yep.
Committing a lot of numbers forward, maybe less worried. And there's a little pooch. They're going to try to come under it. Burnham there to make the play. And eludes 2 tacklers. Gets 3 or 4 yards up the field and out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
Not much, necessarily yardage-wise on the return there, but I like the strength, the effort, showing that you're not just going to go down. That was a nice little 4 or 5 yards there.
Timeout on the field. Officials called timeout. 6:57 to play here in the third quarter. LaSalle leading 28-6.
Think these cheerleaders could hit us up here with a T-shirt?
Yeah, outside of your camera, you're seeing
it's footballs.
mini footballs being thrown into the air and into the stands right in front of us. We'll take this timeout to once again remind you that the open house will be at Salle College High School on Sunday, October 1st. Great opportunity to take a beautiful day and go visit a beautiful campus. If you're in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, you're thinking about going to LaSalle, or just want to learn more about it and see what it might have to offer. 8605 Cheltenham Avenue in Windmore, PA. Check it out at lschs.org. You can get all the details online there ahead of the event. You'll get to meet some of the great professors that are there, meet some of the faculty members, some of the leadership.
See a beautiful campus.
And it's a beautiful time of year, right in the middle of the fall.
And a changing campus. Have you been back recently, Bob?
I have.
You know, they got that whole student center opening up in the back over the old cafeteria.
Yes, that's
now
right.
We're all glass enclosed.
No more pit.
The pit's been relocated.
And we didn't see, that's Joey Burnham, number 4, walking off the field on his own power, but definitely laboring.
Yeah, favoring that right leg, it looks like.
So that was hidden behind right near the sideline. Remember, he was the one that caught that punt, Rob.
Yep.
And fought for those extra yards. So he went down right on the North Penn sideline. We didn't see who was down at the time. Certainly hope that Burnham is okay, because he's going to be a big part of the offense from a blocking perspective, and we've even seen it from a rushing perspective in the past as well.
So aside from that end of the half drive, I think LaSalle scored on their last 4.
Screen pass and down by virtue of falling to the turf is Octavius Carter. That will be a loss on the play as he slipped.
Would like to see the Explorers keep that momentum going, though.
You mean relative to the scoring?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Before the half, that was the last drive that didn't get there. And then, of course, hitting off the helmet was unfortunate, but now an opportunity to get right. And if you're North Penn, big opportunity to get a stop here. 2nd and long.
Again, near side, no 3 receivers, 2 defensive backs.
And what they're doing, Rob, there is they're bringing number 2, John Haynes. He's going to cover the slot receiver, in this case, Octavius Carter. And so what that allows is anybody over the top, there is no safety help. That's got to be the read if you're LaSalle.
And it's been there, it feels like the last 6-7 times they've lined up and just haven't made the read. Yep. I don't know if the coaches can't see. We got coaches next to us in the box here, but.
Oh, they'll see it. Honestly, I think that they're waiting on the opportunity to take that shot. But it's not that they're not being covered. Yep. It's that there's no over-the-top help because that's picking up the slot receiver, the safety. Now here's the snap on 3rd and long. Here's Jones looking for help. Shovel pass. It's caught by Keelis. Now Keelis takes a little shot at number 12, Nick Intrieri, and I can understand why. Intrieri comes in after he was down, but just guys going at each other.
Looks like we got
get up and no harm, no foul. There is
night.
Let's get a number there. Number 17, Kevin Nguyen, down on the play. Senior defensive lineman, a guy that's been doing this for a while.
He runs off. Good to see. It's early season cramps.
So after the timeout, the clock was stopped. Now they'll roll it again and start the play clock. Garish with the heels on the 24. Kicks it deep. A short one. This should land, however, and take a LaSalle hop. Inside the 30, now inside the 25. It'll come to rest at the 23-yard line, and LaSalle defense will go back onto the field with 4:59 to play in the third quarter. One more where you at from Rob here. We got one more for you. Buddy Werner, a big fan of the show, and his son Brett, the starting keeper for the soccer team here at LaSalle, committed to LaSalle University. He will remain an Explorer next year. Thanks for the retweets, and thanks for all the support, buddy. That's at Bob Long Sports for anybody wanting to get involved. Now they take a shot. DePaul over the top. Devin Smith had great position.
And that's the kind of position you want to see from a defensive back. You know, you were talking about it earlier, Nick Saban's rule. You want to keep that shoulder to his back shoulder, and that was excellent coverage by Devin Smith.
That's exactly right. When you have that shoulder in front of his lead right shoulder, you control his pace. You either control the pace or you take him off his route on a post pattern like that, and that was phenomenal coverage from the safety Devin Smith.
Textbook of how to cover without, getting yourself in a position where you have to interfere.
2nd down and 10. The shotgun snap to DePaul. That was deflected and did just enough to elude KJ Cartwright. Great job to get in there, and the pressure came from the defensive line. Ronnie Ross, we saw Colin Hirschman in there doing the most damage at the left end position. LaSalle defense starting to play well. It has been playing very well, but standing up now in the first 2 downs after they gave up the touchdown.
Yeah, they're not happy with how that one went down. Obviously a little misfortune. Can't control all of that, but they want to make sure to get back on the right track here, and they're doing a nice job of it.
Steve DePaul with 3 receivers to the far side. 3rd and 10, throws it deep. Coming underneath, and the play is made. Justice Henley. Smith trying to track him down. Tackles him just shy of the end zone, but a big shot. The ball maybe a little bit underthrown, and Frank Joyce took a chance there. Henley may be down on the play. Maybe slightly shaken up as he was taken down at the 1-yard line. He landed on top of Devin Smith.
It's a nice job by Smith to catch up, but that is a tough play. You had good coverage up until the point of the actual catch. Just didn't time his jump right.
And he snuck underneath. So he had good position at first, but got caught ball watching, couldn't catch up. Henley, a great play.
Coming off to take a breather, he is.
4 minutes and 18 seconds as we tick down here in the 3rd quarter. North Penn trailing 28-6, looking to add their 2nd consecutive touchdown. Here's the handoff. Gorski runs through a couple tacklers. No signal yet. And they rule him as short at the 1-yard line.
Good hold there.
Gorski running really hard, though.
Yep.
He's come in at the primary tailback role in the second half, and I've seen an immediate difference.
And an Explorer down. Looks like more cramps.
Chris Maloney down on the play. Trainer Dave Crow out there to look at Maloney. And it does look like cramps as they stretch him out. We take a look at the LaSalle sideline and the LaSalle student section in the process. There they are, all decked out in blue tonight. It was deemed on Twitter to be a blue out tonight, Rob.
North Penn got the note.
North Penn's in white.
Their jersey's over here, though.
Oh, I see. Very clever, Rob. Chris Maloney being helped off the field. See, he's still feeling the effects of that cramp. Still a hot day, even though it's certainly cooled off into the night. But August football can be tough, man. Now 2nd down and 1. Clock restarts. We tick under 3 minutes and 30 seconds. The I formation. Here's the handoff. The big man is through for the touchdown. Untouched to the end zone. Khan Jamal puts 6 on the board for the Knights, and it's 28-12.
So all of a sudden, one bad hop for the Explorers. North Penn puts it in the end zone, gets their first points on the board, then hold the Explorers, and all of a sudden they're right back in this one.
And with 3 minutes and 24 seconds to play in the third, North Penn chasing the points here. I don't blame them. So we sit at 28-12. This a 2-point conversion. Here's the shotgun snap. DePaul looking for help. Throws, and it's caught. Owen Thomas.
Stretching out for that one, able to put those other drops behind him. This one was a little out in front of him. Hauls it in for the 2-point conversion and puts us back at a pretty traditional-looking score.
And just like that, North Penn, some momentum here at home. Tons of time left in this game. Still 15 minutes and 24 seconds of game action to go. And you see the North Penn Knights getting fired up, employing their student section to get loud. That's all you need to do against a talented team like this, Rob, is let one mistake like that lead to some momentum. This Knights team is talented, and now LaSalle has a battle on their hands.
Can't fall asleep at the wheel against any team, especially one that's, got the reputation and certainly the skill to be able to hang in there and force their way back into a game like North Penn has. Big time drive here for LaSalle this time around.
They're going to kick it short again. Coming up to get it is Smith. Oh. It goes through his arms, and it goes out of bounds.
Did he? So here's the thing. Well, obviously he must have touched it.
Yep, he touched the ball. There's no flag there, no illegal procedure. It's just LaSalle's ball at the spot it went out of bounds because Smith touched it. But Smith got ahead of himself there.
Ooh, he was looking to go.
Jumped up in the air, changed his line of sight. And very fortunate that the sideline was right there, Rob.
Time for Isaiah Jones to answer.
High snap. Jones able to take it, and a nice run up the middle, slithering through the linebacking core of North Penn, up and past the first down marker for our first down.
A play that's been working all night for the Explorers. They got that offensive line's able to push the Knights backwards and open up a nice hole for Jones, and picks up a big first down here for the Explorers.
And that's a welcome sight there, Rob. The first down, able to subdue a bit of the momentum, and now LaSalle can get into their offensive set. There's the handoff. Keyless stays up and sneaks forward for about 6 yards. That looked doomed from the start.
He had a lot of blue in his face and is able to just plant his foot, turn it around, and squirm back upfield for a good 5-6 yards.
Clock ticks now, under 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. Isaiah Jones gets the call from the sideline. Still haven't seen a lot throwing from Jones. Looking to pound the ball up the middle, Rob, and then maybe take a shot.
Yep.
There's the run from Jones. Hit and knocked down. They stay with it. A great job to just hang on for dear life. I saw Nick Intreri in there holding on to that leg, and they gave the tackle to Owen Thomas, but really it's Intreri holding on to that leg and not letting Jones go anywhere. Now a 3rd and long for LaSalle. 3rd and 8 from the 40. They need the 47, according to the linesman.
And the stands are rumbling underneath us.
The camera's starting to shake here at North Penn as they get loud. Here's Jones, takes the shot over the middle, and it's incomplete. Malley had his hands on it. The ground caused the dislodge, and North Penn Uncle Mo is on the side of the Knights.
Malley had a great opportunity, went down to grab that ball before it hit the ground, just wasn't able to control it through the catch. Something we hear a lot in the NFL these days, but it's a very clear drop there, and LaSalle again punting back to the Knights.
They come after it. Karish gets it off. Fair caught at the 31-yard line by Justice Henley. Henley has a touchdown tonight for North Penn. And Khan Jamal had the other touchdown. Now Steve DePaul, with all the momentum in the world, starting to feel more confident and throwing the deep ball, Rob. That's opened up more underneath for Gorski, as well as some of the underneath routes that North Penn has done. And again, that starts with Steve DePaul having the confidence to go over the top.
We said he was going to get in a groove this year, turn things around. He's kind of doing it in the second half. The Explorers were able to avoid those big plays in the first half, but they're really turning around on them this time around.
Gorski, good lateral movement, cuts inside again. They try to pull the ball back. A flag comes in as Gorski goes down 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. Could be a hold against North Penn. We'll await the call from the head referee.
Thinking face mask.
Yeah, there was a linebacker in there as well.
Yep.
And that's what the call comes, the 15-yard variety of the face mask. And that'll be 15 yards down the field, all the way into LaSalle territory. So now North Penn moving down the field. A minute 6 to play here in the third quarter. North Penn coming all the way back. They trail by 14. They look to add more. Here's the sweep.
Oh.
Gorski looking for running room and nudged out of bounds 2 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Nice job that time by LaSalle, not letting North Penn set the edge. They're able to follow the run all the way out and hold them to a nice short gain.
Tell you what, though, forced LaSalle to be really good in their gap control and really good in their assignments. Gorski is putting a lot of pressure on this team right now. It's a different North Penn offense with him on the field right now. This time KJ Cartwright is the back that joins DePaul in the backfield. And a timeout on the field called by North Penn. That's their second charge timeout of the half. We'll take a break and come back for the next play here as it's 2nd and 8 from the LaSalle 47-yard line. North Penn charging back. It's 28-14 LaSalle.
Bob Long from Bob Long Sports here, and I want to urge all our listeners to visit our friends at Dunphy Ford in the Northeast.
Dunphy Ford has all the latest Ford models, trucks, SUVs, and sedans. They also have a wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs as well. Owned by a LaSalle graduate and a proud sponsor of Explorers basketball, Dunphy Ford should be your first stop to buy or lease a new car.
Visit them at 7700 Frankfort Avenue in the Northeast or at dunphyford.com.
Welcome back once again to Crawford Stadium, home of the North Penn Knights. LaSalle jumped out to a 28-0 lead. It was 21-0 at halftime, and then the first drive of the second half, the Explorers put another touchdown on there, 3 for Manikilis. And North Penn scored the last 2. They have the ball in LaSalle territory late in the third quarter. And a flag. False start coming against North Penn. So now, Rob, 2nd and long. And LaSalle here, a big set of downs to try to get a stop and quell some of this momentum.
Yeah, big opportunity here to kind of put a little bit of the kibosh on the momentum we've seen from North Penn. I mean, it's a big opportunity, going into the fourth quarter to kind of stop North Penn in their tracks and put things back in LaSalle's favor. It's been a tough go of it these last few series for this defense.
And on the North Penn side, that's because they've been opening up the field, not afraid to go deep. Justice Henley comes in motion. Screenplay. They have their man. Henley again knocked out of bounds before the first down marker, but a really solid play, bringing Henley across the line of scrimmage, faking the movement that way from the quarterback, then planning and coming back the other way on the underneath route. Very solid. And now third down and short. And here's 4 down territory, Rob, if
Absolutely.
they were to not get this, but North Penn wants to put it across right now. They need 2.
Third down and 2 for the Knights.
And that's not much of a gamble at this point. I mean, you got momentum entirely in your favor.
Here's the handoff. Khan Jamal, first down and more. Hand it to the big man and run downhill.
With the carry for North Penn.
Gain of 5 yards for Khan Jamal.
For a North Penn first down. First and 10.
Under 30 seconds to play in the third quarter.
6-yard line.
DePaul out to the huddle. They break the huddle with 12. With 3. Here's the snap. It's fumbled. And DePaul was down. He had the right knee down as he picked it up. That'll be the last play of the third quarter. It'll go down as a sack. Second down and long upcoming when we come back. After 3 quarters of play, it's LaSalle 28 and North Penn 14. You're listening to Explorer Football here on BLS. And this portion of today's game brought to you by our friends at Dunphy Ford.
Check out the team of attorneys.
Bob Long from Bob Long Sports here, and I want to urge all our listeners to visit our friends at Dunphy Ford in the Northeast.
Dunphy Ford has all the latest Ford models, trucks, SUVs, and sedans.
They also have a wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs as well.
Owned by a LaSalle graduate and a proud sponsor of Explorers basketball, Dunphy Ford should be your first stop to buy or lease a new car.
Visit them at 7700 Frankfort Avenue in the Northeast or at dunphyford.com.
Hi, this is Rob Stott with Bob Long Sports. BLS is the official host of the pregame show for the Philadelphia Soul. Be sure to tune in before every home game for featured interviews with head coach Clint Dolzell and quarterback Dan Radeball, as well as player profiles. We even get the opportunity to speak with AFL Commissioner Scott Butera.
Commissioner of the Arena Football League, Scott Butera on the line.
You do a tremendous job. Of all the, local broadcast teams, by far Philadelphia is the gold standard in our league. I wish they all could be like that because you really understand our game, you promote it well.
And we welcome you back here. Bob Long, Rob Stott, Mara Jones on the camera. Second down and long for North Penn. Start of the fourth quarter. DePaul runs up the middle, has a first down, and dives forward at the 23-yard line.
Just can't really call it a breakdown in coverage because all the receivers were covered, which is why DePaul tucked it. The breakdown and contain, I guess, for your front, defensive front there for LaSalle. And nice job by DePaul recognizing that and tucking it and picking up a big first down.
Rob, we'll state the obvious here, but there is an eternity left in this game.
Oh, yeah.
11:50 to play, beginning of the fourth and final quarter. North Penn with the ball in LaSalle territory, down 2 touchdowns, but all the momentum. Handoff to the fullback. Stood up there and continuing to churn the legs. Down to the 16-yard line. Should be a gain of about 7.
Just need this defensive front to step up here. They're getting driven back on their heels every play by North Penn's front offensive line.
They fake the handoff. They throw over the top. Wobbly throw. They bring it down. Justice Henley. Touchdown. North Penn.
Fighting for it in the end zone, but that was a heck of a grab. And we're getting some attention now.
It wasn't DePaul's best ball, Rob, but it was just enough. Yep. Henley goes up and wins the battle in the air. It's 28-20. 20 unanswered for the Knights. Henley still down in the end zone, off camera there as we take a look at him and hope that he is doing okay.
More cramps, I think. They're calling for water for him.
And gets a high five from Dick Beck, the head coach of North Penn. That's well earned. The senior coming up big. Now McNamara set to take the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good.
That was a screamer through the uprights.
28-21, LaSalle leads. 10:44 to play, fourth quarter. 7-point lead for LaSalle, but that's been dwindled from what was a 28-0 cushion. And Rob, we're going to think back to that punt. Came off the side of the foot of Clemens for North Penn, and one of the gunners for LaSalle didn't know where the ball was, smacked off the top of his helmet away from Brett Malley, who was standing under that punt ready to catch it. Set up North Penn with the ball at the 25-yard line of LaSalle. They scored 3 plays later. And that's how this all started. Xavier Gorski has been huge. Steve DePaul has been taking more chances. And they've been opening up the field. It's a different ball game here.
That's coming right off of a drive where LaSalle had just gone up 28-0. First drive of the second half. Held North Penn. And then just one bad bounce. And it's turned everything around.
And if you're LaSalle, the offense here, you got to go after it. You cannot go into a shell here. Continue to run your sets. Brett Malley hit at the 32-yard line and dropped. LaSalle's offense back onto the field, perhaps feeling a bit tight and perhaps feeling the pressure of the first Friday night of the football season. They've played this game each of the last 8 years to start the season. Last year was the first time that North Penn was victorious, and they're trying to make it 2. This would be a comeback of epic proportions. LaSalle trying to get right on offense, up 7.
North Penn is yelling for someone to come onto the field. I think they had 10 men.
And they burned their third and final time out of the half with that, Rob.
Not a full complement on the field for North Penn. And that cost them a timeout. Their last timeout.
With this timeout on the field, we'll remind you once again about the LaSalle Open House, October 1st, Sunday. Opportunity to see all that LaSalle has to offer as an institution. So if you are somebody that either now or in the very near future or even a long time down the road, if you think that LaSalle might be the place for you, stop on by, meet some of the great faculty members. You can meet the folks that make this happen for us and have allowed us to do this. Athletic Director Joe Parisi, as well as Communications Director Chris Carabello. He's done some of these broadcasts with us in the past, a lot of them, in fact. He's done a great job. As well as Rob Johnson, who's helped us out from a social media perspective as well as from a technical perspective. 3 of the many great LaSallian gentlemen and ladies that you can meet at the open house, and a beautiful campus to boot. Learn about the academic curriculum and some of the rigors at LaSalle and why it might be right for you. Isaiah Jones pulls on the inside read, gets up the middle. About a 5-yard gain, Rob. That's a good play. Get moving downhill, keep the clock running, and try to build string a few first downs together.
That's exactly where I was going. You want that clock to keep running. You want to put points on the board. You want to keep, at this point, North Penn's offense off the field because you're having a tough time stopping them. So got to keep the ball right here.
There's the inside handoff to Keyless. He cuts down the field and gets about 2. Good stop in the middle there by the D lineman of North Penn. Joey Slover, who came off the field injured in the first quarter, was the one that came up with the tackle. LaSalle, the full complement of timeouts. North Penn has already extinguished their timeouts. 3rd down and 2. They need past the 41-yard line for a first down. Octavius Carter in motion. There's the handoff to Carter. Doesn't have room and is knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. 4th down. Another 3 and out for the North Penn defense.
It's a big stop by North Penn. Don't know what much else you can really say about it. I mean, they're stepping up big right now. They've got everything is clicking for them. They've got Isaiah Jones in this offense, off kilter. Now they're about to get the ball back with 9 minutes left and an opportunity to tie this game.
Only one man deep. His name is John Haynes. Big kick there. And a big hop for LaSalle. That comes to rest at the 23-yard line after landing north of the 30. And now the LaSalle defense, perhaps a little bit more breathing room, but they really didn't get much rest, Rob. Another 3 and out by the LaSalle offense. The North Penn defensive line stood up huge against 3 runs for LaSalle. So now you have 70-plus degree weather. You have the first game of the season. And you have a LaSalle defense that's given up 3 touchdowns this half and has been out there for a long period of time.
Yeah, but, each new drive's an opportunity to kind of put a stop to what's been going on. So it's a chance for this Explorer team to put the last couple drives behind them and see what we can't do to keep North Penn out of the end zone.
Timeout for LaSalle. Looks like Charles Roten is limping a little bit as he goes over to the sideline. Rob, I'm going to be interested to see what defense they come out in because it looked to me like they were about to go 3-4 there. They only had 3 down linemen out on the field, and I wonder if that reason is to drop another linebacker into coverage because they've been getting beaten over the top. But then again, the rushing game has been good for North Penn as well. So I think for John Steinmetz, who, from what I understand, more of a defensive guy, I'm interested to see what he can calibrate here and what he can devise for this LaSalle defense to get more in tune.
Yeah, mid-game adjustments, big in any level. Steinmetz is a brilliant mind, so we'll see what he's able to do with this Explorer team that's been getting beat in every phase of the game, but especially on this defensive side so far this second half. So any kind of adjustment, something needs to change right now, and I'll take anything to help the Explorers get a stop.
First down and 10. North Penn at their own 23. 3 straight drives have resulted in touchdowns. They come out to the near side, a good stiff arm, and almost up to the first down. Justice Henley, that name again, he has been all over the place, and the senior doing great things.
Gain of 6 yards for the Knights. 2nd down and 4 for North Penn.
Clock stopped at 8 minutes and 44 seconds. 2nd down and 4. They need the 33-yard line for a first down. DePaul under center. Here's the sweep play. LaSalle forcing him in. They missed the first tackle and wrap up on the second.
It's a nice job finally, able to stop Xavier Gorski from getting any positive yardage. Nice to see them contain again, stay in their lanes, prevent that sweep from doing any damage.
You had 3 Explorers in there. Jason Kessler, you had Liam Trainer, and Devin Smith in there on the stop. 3rd down and 5. Still needing the 33 for a first down. We tick under 8 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. Inside handoff. It'll be close. LaSalle knocked him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a yard short.
And
a yard to
what
2
do we
yards.
Are they gonna measure? Nope, we got a down guy.
It was KJ Cartwright who took the carry on that one. He and Gorski have been taking a lot of the carries recently, and now an Explorer down on the field.
So everything's been going your way, and this is where maybe Riverboat Rob comes out a little bit. Do you go
boy.
for it here?
I don't personally, but your defense is standing up. If you can change field position a little bit, the only thing is Clemens hasn't really been able to change field position the way Karish has.
You're talking a 1-2 yards to your first down. I mean, you are deep in your own
Yeah, they actually marked him back at the 30, Rob, so that's a full 3 yards. But from where it looks like here, it seems more in the 2.5 range. Number 44 coming off the field. Austin Lemke, the middle linebacker for LaSalle, and that certainly hurts. So maybe you pull the signal caller off the field here, and you go for 4th down.
Are you trying to force them off sides is the other thing.
You don't have a timeout, even if you are. They snap the ball. Here's DePaul to the sideline. It's knocked down. Tipped at the line by Daniel Kuznetsov. A turnover on downs.
That's surprising to me. I mean, if you're going to go for it, you've been having so much success in the run game, and you decide to let DePaul throw it. I don't agree with that call at all with North Penn, but
really, so you're
I'm riverboat robbing it,
and you're not going to let them throw the ball on 4th down.
Not with how successful they've been in the run game. I mean, they've been able to really with just move the ball on the ground, and it's worked for them tonight. I mean, we've seen it. You don't try. I don't have the confidence in DePaul based on what I've seen earlier in the game from a passing perspective to think that he could convert on a 4th down that deep in your territory.
So now a big turnover, and LaSalle has an opportunity in North Penn's territory. Snap to Jones. Sneaks it up the middle, jumps in the air, able to get a few yards. It'll be 2nd down and long.
A lot of people wanted a false start there.
Yeah, they did.
Didn't get it, though.
They thought Keelis was the one to move in the backfield in motion. Ticking under 7 minutes and 10 seconds to play. 2nd down and 7. Still that 7-point lead for LaSalle. The defense got the big stop. Now can the offense get it moving? Jones to his 3rd progression, throws over the top for Malley. Knocked away. A great defensive play by Dars Boski.
Coverage on the play by number 7, Dars Boski.
That was a good read by Isaiah Jones. Saw Malley had a step on his man, but Bowski was able to close the gap there at the end and get a hand up and break up the pass.
Yeah, great play by Bowski on defense there. What I liked is that's the 3rd read for Jones. He started left, he moved his eyes right. Pretty good throw, but a better defensive play. Now 3rd and 7. Jones rolls, throws on the run, has him over the top. Touchdown, Marvin Harrison.
Hey, there we go. What a pass from Isaiah Jones. Had a guy, Harrison, wide open in the end zone and just put it right on his man, and all of a sudden, all that momentum is kind of, you feel the air let out of the stands on this side of the field. So that is an excellent way to answer by LaSalle, taking the turnover on downs right down and putting the ball in the end zone.
34-21. Isaiah Jones stepping up, looking downfield. The defensive back had his chest to the line of scrimmage as Harrison snuck behind. And a little teardrop into the bucket by Isaiah Jones. Karish up and good with the extra point. It's 35-21 LaSalle with 6:46 to play in the 4th quarter, and that is an answer, Rob.
and a great one at that. And I feel dumb asking, Bob, but you said Marvin Harrison. Is it?
Yes, Marvin Harrison Jr.
That is a junior. So, I mean, we're talking about a guy that has some...
Saw Marvin coming out of the car today.
Did you?
Yep.
Oh, did you say hi?
I did not. He
No?
was still dilly-dallying a little bit as we were running a little late. As we mentioned, came up from Bradenton today, so we were trying to rush to get to the stands, but would love to talk to Marvin, we'll call it.
That'd be a fun one. I mean, obviously a local Philly product, so Roman Catholic kid.
That's right.
So it's cool to see his son stay in the Catholic League, and even better to see him opt to go to the Explorers, where we're benefiting from some excellent football lineage.
So I want to give a shout-out to fellow commentator for Bob Long Sports, Joe Winning. He's been sending us a few texts, and his last one was right after North Penn decided to go for it on 4th down, and Rob, he agreed with you, or at least was placating you. He said, ride the riverboat. So thanks, Joe Winning. Can't wait to have you on the broadcast soon. The squib kick gets behind, and that'll be certainly beneficiary for North Penn as it rolled into the end zone past Gorski. LaSalle had 5 guys running down the field, and he would have had a tough time getting out to the 20. So a fortunate break for North Penn as they'll move the ball out to the 20-yard line and start their next drive, now trailing by 14 points. And now, Rob, they need to move quickly.
Yeah, now you're getting into this situation. All that momentum was on your side. LaSalle was able to take that turnover, like we said, put points on the board, kind of put an end to what you were doing, scoring 21 unanswered, and it's a big drive for both sides here. I mean, this is 6:44. You're getting down to crunch time. This is a big pivotal moment in this game.
Empty backfield for DePaul. DePaul sneaks, throws over the top, has a man, and no flag. The official right in front of the play had all the time he needed, had a great look at the play, and decided that the contact was incidental. So now 2nd down and long.
Looked like a hand in the back. I'm not going to say it was. The official didn't say it was, so I guess it wasn't.
That's the tough part there. The legs got caught up, but did the legs get caught up because the progress was stopped by some hand checking, if you will? And, of course, that's well past 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. That's where the difficulty comes in on that call. But a no call, 2nd down and 10. 3 receivers out wide. Screen play. Henley with the catch. Spins out of a would-be tackle from from Brennan Daly, and he's taken out of bounds on the side.
Excellent patience by the LaSalle secondary there. Watching Henley, knowing he was going to try to bust that to the outside. Did a nice job containing and maintaining it just to a couple-yard gain.
It was Owen Pagini who ended up with the tackle after 5 yards. Big spot here, Rob. 4-down territory without a doubt as we come to the halfway point of this 4th quarter. 3rd down and 5 for North Penn. DePaul over the middle. Broken up by Devin Smith. Owen Thomas got 2 hands on the ball, but Smith got in there and broke it up.
Excellent defense by Devin Smith. Sorry, blanking on the name. I was thinking about trying to find the name of the guy in the backfield. I missed the number. But DePaul had a ton of pressure coming on him, nearly avoided what would have been a big sack. I think he took a big lick anyway, but that was just great defense from the front side for the Explorers. Their line getting through to DePaul, to the back end, with Devin Smith able to break up that pass play.
And you look at this front 4 on the defensive line for LaSalle. It's amazing what a few minutes of rest does. Starting to get pressure. The front 4 of Kuznetsov, Ross, and Zobel, along with Colin Hirschman. Now a wheel play. They have it over the top, but a bad throw from Steve DePaul. Turnover on downs, and LaSalle takes the ball back, up 14 points with 5:45 to play in the fourth quarter.
And if we were to zoom out a little bit, it looks like the stands are getting a little thin over here.
What are you whispering for?
I don't want to get anything thrown at me, Bob. We
Well,
are sitting in enemy territory.
We almost had those plastic footballs thrown up here from the cheerleaders. Does that count?
I would have liked to caught one of those.
That would have been nice.
I don't think we'd get a nice little soft plastic football thrown, though.
Nice plastic soft drink.
I'd try to catch that.
Now Isaiah Jones back on the field with the LaSalle offense. He has Malley open, throws it that way, diving.
Oh.
It's caught inside the 5-yard line and inside the 2.
Wow, what a play. I mean, that is just a ball put right on the mark. There's nowhere else that ball could have gone in order for Malley to catch it, and that is just a beautiful rollout by Isaiah Jones, beautiful throw, and a wonderful job bringing it in by Malley.
And that's exactly what you want to do if you're LaSalle, coming off a fourth down miscalculation by North Penn. The throw was off, so you get the turnover. You're up 14. You're getting late in the game. Put them away and do it by trying to go over the top and take a run at it. It's a beautiful ball from Isaiah Jones, a better call from Brett Gordon.
And it looks like the man who was on the coverage is down just shy of the end zone right now on the LaSalle sideline.
Yep, a member of the North Penn Knights. So we'll take a break as they take a look at him, and we'll come back for the final 5 minutes and 38 seconds here from North Penn.
Bob Long from Bob Long Sports here, and I want to urge all our listeners to visit our friends at Dunphy Ford in the Northeast. Dunphy Ford has all the latest Ford models, trucks, SUVs, and sedans. They also have a wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs as well. Owned by a LaSalle graduate and a proud sponsor of Explorers basketball, Dunphy Ford should be your first stop to buy or lease a new car. Visit them at 7700 Frankfort Avenue in the Northeast or at dunphyford.com.
.538 to play, fourth quarter. LaSalle leading 35-21, and now John Haynes, who is injured on the far sideline, being walked off the field by the North Penn trainers. Bob Long, Rob Stott, and a big shout-out to Mara Jones behind the camera here tonight. Our team, as well as Jason Bempa, who will be with us hopefully next weekend. Hopefully he's feeling better soon. Now Isaiah Jones fakes the handoff, throws, and an easy throw, catch, and touchdown. Brett Malley finishes the job that he started with a great catch on the far sideline. That time puts it in from one on the 1-yard throw from Isaiah Jones. It's 41-21 Explorers.
And that's just a situation of Malley and Jones finishing what they started with that last play, putting it into the end zone and really putting their stamp on this game.
Daniel Karish set to take the point after. Blocked again. Did not get it high enough. Karish now just 3 for 5 on point after attempts tonight.
Little trivia. What game show is that from? What game show is that from, Bob?
Rob, I have no idea.
That's a little Price is Right. You don't know that? You don't know that tune?
I got nothing for you, man. Got nothing for you.
Nothing. Oh,
I apologize.
too much daytime TV for me, I guess.
I believe so. I didn't say it though. 41-21, the Explorers lead. They went up 21-0, then gave up 21 straight points. Game was cut to 7. LaSalle got a big stop on fourth down, went down and scored, and then got the ball back after another fourth down. That was an incomplete pass from Steve DePaul. And then 2 plays there. Brett Malley and Brett Malley. 2 catches for him on 2 good passes from Jones, and it's 41-21. Now a good kick there. Coming down the middle of the field and wrapped up by the Explorers. It looked like Gorski.
Kick return by number 16.
And yes, it was. Gorski going down inside his own 30-yard line.
First down and 10 for the Knights.
So you think we see Mr. Harrison Sr. in the stands at all this year? You think he's here tonight? Think he sticks around? Becomes a good
I told
member
you
of
he
the
was here.
LaSalle. No, I know. You saw him drop off. Did he stay, though? Is he actually here watching his son? That's awesome.
I mean, I think so.
That's pretty cool. I mean, you
Marvin
think about
Jr. was not in the car with him, if that's what you're asking. Like I said, we were running a little late. LaSalle was already here.
So you saw Dad getting out of the car.
Run up the middle. Good bunch of moves there from Gorski. Tries to make one more. Pagini stands him up and knocks him almost out of bounds, and the legs keep churning for Xavier Gorski.
Think about some of the NFL ties this team has had over the last couple of years. I mean, Harrison, obviously, right now. He had Shermer a couple of years ago. His dad coaching in the NFL now.
And who's having a great career at Vanderbilt right now. Derek Mason and co. had a great second half of last year and are looking to really take that next step in an East Division of the SEC that isn't all that strong.
So it's pretty cool to see, the NFL ties to this Explorer program.
DePaul under center. Inside handoff. That's a nice play there to get it right into the arms of the fullback, and downhill goes Anthony Andrews. Another 10-plus yard gain and a first down.
And going back further, NFL ties, obviously the big name right now that comes to mind is our head coach up in Buffalo, Bob. The Bills.
Hashtag Bills Mafia.
Hashtag Bills Mafia.
You know my Western New York ties.
I sure do.
Family from Western New York, huge Bills fan.
And they got Mr.
I know, I'd be sorry for me too. Thank you, I appreciate
They got Mr.
all the love.
Sean McDermott to root for right now, a 93 grad. Played on this Explorers team. Also won 2 National Prep Wrestling Championships, I might add, as an Explorer.
Wow. Yes, Rob, the wrestling guy. Appreciate that. And almost on the Howell and Hess O'Connell halftime show last year.
Almost.
Almost.
Had him this close, but, obviously understand he was a little busy. Had some family obligations to attend to during the game. He had a lot of family with him, being a local guy, so.
We do appreciate having John Butler.
We do.
The defensive backs coach of the Houston Texans on the halftime show last year. He did a great job.
Oop.
Movement there on the offensive line. Joey Beck, the senior tight end, moved early.
And that wasn't just a little flinch. I mean, he got up out of his stance and was going.
So now they back it up, 2nd down and 9.
5-yard penalty brings up 2nd down and 9 for North Penn.
Rob, by all accounts, big success here on the first HD video football product here for LaSalle College High School.
Yeah, seems like it went well. It's a lot of fun, Obviously, if there's one big letdown, it was me not having a better-looking attire than the nicest T-shirt I have in my closet. But, improvements. It's early.
That was a nice T-shirt, Rob. I also see you rubbing your arms. It is getting a little chilly.
It is a little chilly, man. You don't expect this in August in the late night under the lights, but, it's going down. What's the temperature say? We're probably at like the low 60s right now. Feels like a little breezy up in the stands.
I feel all right in my suit jacket and slacks. Thanks for asking.
Lesson learned over here.
3rd down and 7 from the LaSalle 41-yard line. North Penn looking to likely take 1 or 2 more shots here. They fake the give, throw over the top, a nice catch, keeping the feet in bounds. First down, A.J. Catanzaro on the 15-yard look from DePaul.
And we've definitely, obviously, seen flashes, of course, during the 21 21-point run that North Penn went on, but it's clear that DePaul and this team are going to really start to sink as this season goes on and they get more reps throughout the year. And, I wouldn't be surprised if this team bounces back really quickly. It's clear that they got a lot of talent, a lot of guys that can handle the ball. DePaul's going to, just build a rapport with these receivers, and I wouldn't be too worried if I was a Knights fan.
There's a give up the middle. Taken down by a broad number of Explorers, and now a little bit of pushing after the play. Flag comes in late. Austin Lemke was in there and now is surrounded by 4 North Penn Knights. Liam Traynor gets a shove. These might be offsetting penalties here, Rob.
You would hope at this point in the game. One, obviously you don't like to see this, but two, it's emotions on both sides.
Still awaiting the call. Referees having a discussion right in the middle of your screen. So that'll be just against the LaSalle Explorers. Extracurriculars in the trenches after the runner was taken down. So we tick down 2 minutes and 10 seconds upon the referee's whistle. Left in this fourth and final quarter of play. A lot to learn here from this one for LaSalle. Not taking the foot off the gas pedal. Maybe we saw a little bit of an exposure of the secondary when the O-line, or the D-line in this case, doesn't get the pressure. But a resilience and a response.
And like we saw right there on that play, one of the other things we learned is something that's been a theme of this night, and that's how strong the front four are for the Explorers on defense, and the starting 5 on the offensive side for the guys in the trenches, as they like to say. It's going to be a real big strong point for the Explorers this year, maintaining the health and consistency of those guys who come back completely intact from a year ago.
Second down and 13. DePaul is going to go for the lob. Catanzaro taken down on his way to the end zone.
A lot of shirt there.
Owen Pagini will be called for the defensive pass interference. That'll take him half the distance to the goal. Joe Winning also happened to mention that Brennan Daly, who was in on one of the recent plays that we mentioned, an Anchele Assumpta grad. Joe Winning,
coming through in the clutch.
The biggest Anchele Assumpta supporter that I have ever met. We love you, brother.
Fantastic.
Can't wait to have you out here.
Second down and 5 for the Knights.
They fake the give. Throwing to the corner. Touchdown. Steve DePaul, a good strike into the end zone. Number 2, John Haynes with the touchdown catch, making it 41-27.
I know you're getting to a point in the game where kind of feels like that's pointless. You really don't want to see the defense, let up at all, whether it's late in the game. That's points you're giving up. It's showing, that you've got some things to work on as a unit.
And they give the touchdown to Shamar Edwards. So tough to see 8 versus 2, but it was number 8, Shamar Edwards, with the touchdown catch. And Kelly McNamara puts the point after attempt through the uprights. A minute 12 to play. Rob, I think LaSalle has to do one thing here, and that's recover an onside kick, and this game will be theirs. North Penn with no timeouts remaining.
We're looking at never say never, but we're looking at which should be the last big play of this game, this kick.
LaSalle needs to get the hands team out there and still make the play, though, Rob. Mr. Riverboat, this thing is not over.
Not far from over.
Need a recovery.
This kick should be the last significant play as long as LaSalle's able to recover.
McNamara will place the football at the 40-yard line right in the center of the field. LaSalle's hands team onto the field. And North Penn has 6 on the far side of your screen. Has to go 10 yards or be touched by an explorer before North Penn can recover. And it cannot be fielded. It gets out of bounds. So that'll do it. An illegal procedure, but that took a nice hop. A well-placed onside kick by Kelly McNamara. Just couldn't get a pair of North Penn hands on the football.
Typically what you see in those situations, obviously at the NFL level, is kickers try to top the ball, get a high bounce. Kelly just kind of line drove it right at a guy. Took a little bit of a hop, but instead of stopping right there and being in a position where a North Penn guy could fall on it, the ball just continued out of bounds, and that'll do it here.
One thing we really haven't mentioned tonight, but remember we're playing on grass, so you don't get those true hops that you get on the turf, and that one certainly took a squirrely hop. LaSalle fortunate that it went out of bounds, and now Danny Selecki. You got it, Joe Winning. I'll do it. The pride of Anchley Assumpta Academy, Danny Selecki, on there, takes the first of 2 kneels that will end this football game. LaSalle's going to get out of here with a 41-28 win. But, Rob, 45 minutes ago, it didn't feel like it was going to be a 2-score game. It felt like North Penn had all the momentum, which they did, and they had the ball with an opportunity to tie. LaSalle defense, a couple big stops while they were tired, while they were gassed, and while they had taken a ton of defensive snaps in the second half. Says a lot about what this team has mentally as well as physically. And the defensive line started to stand up.
Yeah, and talk about class game, Southeastern PA football, high school football. This is kind of what you come to expect. You didn't want to see a blowout. You kind of certainly looked like it was going to be one for a time there, but North Penn, being the traditional power that they are, was able to fight their way back and make this a game, and just ended up that LaSalle was able to swing momentum back in their favor just enough to hold on to this one and get a great first win to start the season. So got to be happy with. A lot to be happy with. Obviously, a lot to work on, this being the first game. So we'll see what the coaches do and come out next week and hope to play even better.
This is a big rivalry game. It started each of the last 8 seasons for both of these teams, and all those games played right here at Crawford Stadium. It's become a baptism of sorts for each of these teams. LaSalle has now won all but one of these games, but once again, we see a close game, a game where both teams fight, and they're going to learn a lot about themselves, both of these teams. If you're LaSalle, I think you saw Isaiah Jones take some good steps, started to make more progressions, go further into his reads, and I think that's really important. Manny Keelis with the 3 touchdowns, a big day for him, a big step towards replacing Syer Madden from last year. You saw the freshman Marvin Harrison have a touchdown catch that ended up sealing the game for the Explorers. That was good to see. And, of course, Brett Malley with a touchdown of his own. Very solid hands. And we're going to see a lot more from Troy Holland as well. This wide receiver core is going to be a real strength for this team. And I thought the offensive and defensive lines did their jobs as well.
Yeah, just all around an impressive performance from the guys we wanted to see impressive performances from. You hit every nail on the head. Isaiah coming out, his first game coming off of that injury, stepping up big, putting the ball in his hands early and often, letting him run, pound his way through the line, get those legs churning, show that his knee's 100%. And Manny stepping up big in place of Zaire Madden, showing that he is fully capable of stepping in there and helping this run game continue to be the success it has been over the past few years. And, of course, both offensive and defensive lines, it's been a theme all night. Talking about how, they're consistent. They maintained every starter from last year, so being able to build that chemistry. And here we are, off to a great start to the year.
Now we'll turn your attention to the LaSalle Pep Band as they prepare to play, as they do after every game, the Alma Mater. A great rendition of the Alma Mater, and now we'll welcome you into the booth here at North Penn, our broadcast center. Bob Long, Rob Stott, thanks again for being with us here tonight. And Rob, another great game to start the season for the team. I think we saw a lot of good things, like we said, and a lot to grow upon as well. But it starts in the trenches. We mentioned that. The offensive and defensive line looked really good here tonight. And it opens up really a conversation about how good this team can be. Number 2 in Southeastern PA. They lost 5 games last year. They're the only team in that Inquirer rankings to have lost more than 3 games last year. But clearly, a new leaf, a new team, and a big challenge comes up next week on the road at McDonough.
Yeah, it's a lot of kudos, I think, to not only the staff but the players. Isaiah Jones being back, I think that has a big impact on that ranking. Inquirer recognizing that that's a strong talent under center for LaSalle, and to have him back makes a major difference for this team. And we saw that tonight against a formidable opponent in North Penn, a top 5 talent in Southeastern PA. So just an all-around great night to kind of see these guys. We've heard a lot about them, saw a little bit at the scrimmage, kind of what they're capable of, but now to see them in live action, everything that they've got going, all the pieces coming together, fighting through some adversity mid-game, able to hold on, hold tight, and come away with a huge win to start the year. So on to the next one.
And, of course, if you're North Penn, because they got a great fan base here, they have a lot to look forward to. You saw a team that I think came out a little bit flat to start the game, and Steve DePaul wasn't on his normal game, what we saw from him at Norristown over the last few years. But he's figured out the offense. He started to dissect the LaSalle defense at times, especially, Rob, when he was given more time in the pocket. So that's going to be the key for North Penn, is how does he continue to adjust? Does he get that time in the pocket? They got some big boys on the line. I think they'll be okay in giving him time. But I tell you what, if you played this game later in the year, clearly you would have had a different LaSalle team. They're going to continue to improve as the game and the year goes on. But I think that if they were to play, and maybe they will meet later, you'll see an entirely different North Penn team. Right now they're tinkering with some pieces and trying to get everybody, the seasoned veterans like Henley, as well as Boski and some of these guys, along with some of the newcomers, right? Khan Jamal, I wanted to see a little bit more out of him, but he's a newcomer, as is Steve DePaul. So this is a really good North Penn team. We're going to see a lot more of them this year.
Yeah, it's they got a lot to look forward to, and you talk about the chemistry that LaSalle's lines have, offensive, defense, in terms of being, everyone coming back and having worked together for a year already. It's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum with North Penn, all the pieces that they have moving, the new pieces coming in, transfers, young guys stepping up with some of the seasoned veterans. There's a lot of leadership there that can kind of lead the way for that team, and I'm sure they'll, like you said, Bob, they'll bounce back, and maybe they'll get an opportunity. It might be a fun one to watch later on in the season if these two happen to butt heads again.
Go warm up. We're going to get out of here.
Okay.
Warm up, cover up those
Appreciate
arms.
it.
Thanks for being here, Rob. Great start to the year. We'll welcome Jason Bempa to the team next week as well. We hope to see you all next Friday night in Maryland as LaSalle takes on McDonough Dom D'Amico has some connections to LaSalle as well. He's the coach down there for the McDonough team. Remember, that game was rained out 2 years ago. They couldn't play, but we're excited to get down there next week and do the game. So an early happy Labor Day. We'll wish you the same next Friday night. And for Rob Stott, for our camerawoman Mara Jones, I'm Bob Long saying so long from Crawford Stadium. LaSalle, a winner 41-28 in the season opener.